100 years. And tonight, this old building's gonna be rocking.
Way down where the sun shines hot, dogs on the porch, swamp in Louisiana, we come up a little different around here.
This is SEC Saturday night.
We got a little dirt road dust running through our blood from a never heard of it hometown. I got a can't quit hard and some take it too far and a whole lot of never back down. If you come around here, better bring it, cause we're no doubt gonna put a little south on you.
What a night for football. SEC Saturday night presented by T-Mobile. They have checkered Neyland. They have filled it all the way to the top, and they will welcome home a prodigal son in some form and fashion. This would be a high-profile shootout. Number 13 Ole Miss against a Tennessee team, which has won back-to-back SEC games in convincing fashion. In Knoxville, they have been desperate for a winner. Josh Heupel has produced an offense that lights up the scoreboard. And they haven't had the building full like this in quite some time. One of the great traditions in all of sports. Here come the Volunteers. The cheers have turned to a Bronx cheer for Lane Kiffin back in Neyland Stadium, where he was once the head coach and ran through the tee on the other side. Now he leads one of the nation's most dynamic offenses onto the field, an offense that is the only one in the country that has yet to throw an interception. Lane has always brought a certain amount of energy to any stadium, but when he was here on Rocky Top, there is renewed energy after he followed Philip Fulmer. That was quickly dissipated when he left for his dream job at USC. Tennessee won the toss. They've deferred. Ole Miss will receive. And Lane Kiffin calmly makes his way onto the field. He was greeted by the student section pregame, and let's just say that they've been ready for him and waiting for him to take the field tonight. I don't know what's going through Lane's head right now, but he's kind of got that California cool walk onto the field and getting warmed up on the sideline. He's standing by with Cole Kublik.
Coach Kiffin, you came out to a lot of boos. What sort of gives you comfort and calm when you come out to that kind of reception?
Matt Corral. I got you on that one.
When you're,
I thought I was going to say popcorn.
I got mine ready. When you're gonna,
They like me a lot.
it doesn't feel like it, no. But you like when they don't like you, don't you?
It is what it is, man. These guys are passionate, great fans, electric crowd. This is college football, man.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
I don't know what we can add to that. Lane Kiffin is here, and he's ready for football. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, you met Cole Kublik.
One of a kind.
One of a kind, and his offense is one of a kind. Both offenses that we'll see tonight. This is the highest predicted point total in the SEC in more than 20 years. Scoreboard's going to be busy.
Yeah, I think Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby both had to get together this week and find out new plays, create some, because I think they used all of them last week, but Lane Kiffin was right. Matt Corral gives him a comfort because he's probably the best player in the entire country. And what's different about his game this year is he's not turning the football over. 12 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. That was a problem for him last year. He has fixed that, and they are still as dynamic as ever.
Cole's recovering from the Lane interview. Cole, defense seems like a dirty word. What's your take?
I tell you this, both have improved, but I think we're going to find out tonight, Tom, just how much either or both of these defenses have improved.
We'll need to see an improvement on defense, or we'll have a track meet. Punters may have the night off. a scene in Neyland. Jerry Neely with a chance for a return. Tripped up past the 20. Pardon me. Not Neyland, not Ely, but he'll be back on the field for Ole Miss, led by Matt Corral, the Ventura, California native. He is one of the best in the country. He is a Heisman favorite, second in total offense, tied for first in touchdowns responsible for, and he is climbing the Ole Miss historical ranks of both of those categories. Snoop Connor starts at tailback. Parrish with the touch pass. Turns it upfield and tripped up at the 30. A pickup of 8 on first down for Matt Corral and Ole Miss. Jeff Levy's a play caller. He's upstairs. He's directed an offense which is second in the SEC in rushing yards. Both of these offenses high tempo and balanced. Corral to the slant. That's complete. Broken tackle. Braylon Sanders. He's got it to the logo and a first down for 17 yards.
And keep an eye on 13. He is unbelievably dynamic. He's a guy that Matt Corral has a ton of faith in. And you see there with the tempo, creating space to the field and taking advantage of it with the slant.
To the ground again. And Snoop Connor finds a couple. This is a deep Ole Miss backfield. Jared Ely will be back there. Henry Parrish Jr. we've seen, and now Snoop Connor. Parrish and Connor on either side of Corral. And now they flip. Corral pulls it back. Deep shot. Plenty of air underneath it. But he overthrew Braylon Sanders. Third down. It feels like second down for Lane Kiffin. They go for it often.
Yeah, they go by the book often in analytics. So you're going to look at it right here. Any third or fourth down, this is what they're trying to do. They don't need to get all 8-9 yards here. They just need to get about half, and the book will tell them they're going to go for it on fourth. So look for a play here that gets them about 5 or 6 yards.
Swing pass. Forced out of bounds after a pickup of 2 is Henry Parrish Jr. Ball at midfield. Offense will stay on the field. Looking at a fourth down. Nobody goes for it on fourth down more often than Ole Miss. Teams 2, 3, and 4. The Naval Academy, Air Force, and Army West Point.
Look, there's a lot more that goes into it, but anytime they cross the 50 and it's fourth and medium or short, most times they're going to dial it up.
Sanders in motion. They need 6 to keep the drive alive. Corral will scramble, a great runner, and he picks up the first down with his legs. Jeremy Banks to tackle.
No, this is what has made Matt Corral even more dangerous than he was last year. He is willing and aggressive as a runner this year. 8 touchdowns on the ground and willing to put his shoulder down like he did just there.
Here's Jerry and Ely, the two sports standout, getting his first carry of the night. It's a pickup of 4.
Tom, that was our first seatbelt check for Matt Corral.
Yeah.
We'll have to get back to it a little later in the game.
Lane Kiffin's trying to talk him into doing more sliding instead of taking hits. He's taken a few this year. Hands it off. Ely again. We got a flag on the play, our first of the night. Mark Curls, our referee.
Holding number 78.
So right tackle Jeremy James. Ole Miss has had to shuffle around due to injuries. Caleb Warren out. Jordan Rhodes starting at left guard. And they're also without their starting tight end Chase Rogers. It's a big loss for this Ole Miss offense. And right now they got Casey Kelly in there at tight end. Second and 16. Corral pulls it on the run. That little pump fake got him more, and he goes right over the top. Pickup of 8. The line from Lane Kiffin, we said, how do you get Corral to slide more? He said, it's like trying to get somebody to wear a seatbelt when they won't. I keep telling him, you got to slide, you got to slide. He wants to take hits and give them.
He puts his shoulder down like all these defenders are fluffy and soft, and it really isn't like that. They're going to hurt you, but he's willing. Maybe slide a few more times, though.
Swing pass. They need 8, and Henry Parrish chipped over the 40-yard line. It's a loss of 1.
Lane Kiffin not even flinching. 4th and long here. Just outside of field goal range, so he's going to trust his offense.
Rebs have already converted 1 4th down tonight.
Keep an eye on Braylon Sanders here down at the bottom of your screen. He's got a safety shading over the top, but if there's a way he can win on a matchup, that's where I'd go if I was Corral.
Matched up with Alontae Taylor, looking for him. Ran an in route. Corral will take off with his feet. Another flag. Corral rumbles inside the 25. If it stands, not likely. A pickup of 16. Looks like the second holding call on Ole Miss will bring another one back. Corral is so intriguing as a runner. How does the coverage dictate when he pulls the ball?
Well, that one, great coverage on the outside by Alontae Taylor. Really Tennessee's best corner. It's twofold, right? It's the coverage down here at the bottom. Alontae Taylor working one-on-one with Braylon Sanders, but it's also the pocket. Watch how the pocket opens up. When there's lanes and coverage, that's when he'll try to make a play up through. He's not one that's going to scramble sideline to sideline as much as he will north and south.
Didn't know we'd see Mack Brown this early. Bayless Jones back to receive. Quick chat with Mack before the game on the field. He wanted to make sure his mom Susan got a hello tonight. With all the madness around us in Neyland Stadium, that feels kind of normal. So, hello, Susan. Fair catch, Bayless Brown. Bayless Jones fumbled it, and Ole Miss pounced on it. Rebels have the football. The sure-handed Bayless Jones had to go right through the basket, and Tyler Knight found it.
The kick was touched by the receiving team, recovered by Ole Miss, first down.
Boy, this is really uncharacteristic of Bayless Jones. He is so sure-handed as a receiver, and they have a lot of trust in him back here as a punt returner as well. Just took his eye off it for a second.
Yeah, Max celebrating. Big night in the Brown household, and now Ole Miss gets the ball back. And Bayless Jones trying to get right. He's a difference maker in special teams and offense. Turnover chain for the Rebels, and Corral back on the field. Parrish can't find room. Taken down by Jaquine Blakely.
Tennessee rolls everybody down into the box. No safety over the top there. Rolled everybody down, selling out for the run on that one, and it paid off.
Cedric Milton got to get wider, get his head across on that reach block.
Here again, look. No safeties, cover zero look by Tennessee.
Corral trying to take advantage. Call off the hand. Braylon Sanders nearly had a one-hand grab for a score. That's going to be a fun matchup. Alontae Taylor and Braylon Sanders all night.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, Alontae Taylor, Tennessee's best coverage guy, but that's hard for a corner. Zero safety support inside. Ole Miss knew that. Jeff Levy dialed up the play action to try to attack it, and Matt Corral uncharacteristically just off his mark there.
Third down, 14. Three-man rush. Corral looking, end zone, another flag, and it skips in incomplete. Trying to find Parrish.
Corral got a little greedy on that one. He had
Before the pass, holding number 1 defense. Phillies half the distance to the goal, and includes an automatic first down.
Trayvon Flowers got flagged.
And maybe that's the reason, because Matt Corral had Ja'Cour Pearson in the slot wide open, but wanted to take a shot to the end zone. And maybe that's the reason he didn't pull the trigger there.
Keep in mind, fellas, you talked about Chase Rogers being out for Ole Miss. I asked Lane Kiffin some of those tight end issues. What's the biggest impact for his offense? He said goal line red zone. As Ole Miss creeps inside the 10, could be a concern.
Corral trying to direct traffic. Will go for the pylon. He is out just inside the 1, and that's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Now this is where he's been so dangerous this year in the red zone, using his legs. Ooh, taking a big hit. Just like that, Ole Miss back on the ball.
Corral gave it to Connor. He is in, and Ole Miss is on the board. After all of that, it took a little over 5 minutes for the Rebels to punch it in, thanks to a muff punt by Velus Jones. Can't believe it took him that long to score.
That was a pretty good job by Tennessee, honestly. Playing man coverage on the outside, stacking the box, trying to slow Ole Miss down.
Point after good. Velus Jones over the years has been one of the best return men in college football. First at USC, now at UT, but an early Tennessee mistake. The balls blink. Rebels take advantage under the lights in Knox Vegas. First of many on the scoreboard tonight. Ole Miss with a 7-0 lead. A little over 5 minutes into this one. They have checkered kneeling. It looks absolutely beautiful tonight. And it is as loud as it's been in some time. Baker Mayfield, when he came here with Oklahoma, called it the loudest stadium he'd ever been in. And this harkens back to that day the Sooners came in. Caden Costa to kick off. Velus Jones looking for some redemption in the return game. It'll be over his head, and we'll see the Tennessee offense for the first time. Led by a 5th-year senior, Hendon Hooker out of Greensboro Dudley High School. His dad, a great player at NCAAF. The thought was Hendon would follow him there. About 8th grade, he said, "Dad, I'm sorry, I think I'm better than the Aggies." Started at Virginia Tech, ends up at Tennessee, and he's 5th in the country in passing efficiency. What makes him so good?
Well, what a great story, right? Started the season as 2nd string, has played his way into this. What makes him special? Decision making and accuracy. He's been so careful and so precise with the football. Exactly what a good running offense needs their quarterback to do.
Josh Heupel, the play caller, 7th in the country in points per game. And one of the best running teams in the country is Jabari Small returns to the starting lineup and picks up 6. We're not sure if we'll see Tyon Evans tonight. He's been bothered by an ankle injury. Small back from a shoulder injury. They call it a 5-yard gain, and now to throw and just past the reach of Javonte Payton. 3rd and 5. Joe Milton III, the Michigan transfer, started opening night for Tennessee. His inefficiency cost him the job. Hendon Hooker said there's no different. If you're 2nd string or 1st string, you still got to believe in yourself. That's what he did. Pressure coming, back to a slant, and trying to find Velus Jones, and they mark him a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1. They'll leave the offense on the field. Page from Lane's playbook, but then they will whistle the play dead, and I think they're going to look at the spot upstairs.
Ruling on the field of a catch down short of the first down is under further review.
Tell you what, that'll give you an idea of what Josh Heupel thinks this game is going to turn into, right?
Yeah.
I mean, possessions are so important. I don't know how many stops there's going to be this game, but you can tell early on Both these coaches expect high-scoring affairs and want to get points on every drive. See here, Velus Jones. It looked like a catch to me. I know they'll be looking at the spot, and from up here, it did look like the spot was pretty accurate, about a yard short.
Cade Mays is the injured volunteer, the right tackle. His brother Cooper had been starting at center, and he is hoping to return to action tonight, but they've had to shuffle their offensive line with Jerome Carvin going at center and Ali Lane left guard. Needed to get to the 35. Knee down, ball short.
Yeah, maybe about a half a yard. Yeah.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
They could adjust the spot by, and it looks like they didn't. No, it's the same spot. That's a full yard versus half.
Now, after some time to think about it, does Josh Heupel go for it on 4th again, as we see Cade Mays?
That's his brother Cooper helping him off the field.
Yeah.
A couple of Knoxville kids. Cade started his college career playing for Kirby Smart at Georgia. Big win for the Dogs today. They remain undefeated after knocking off Kentucky. They'll send the punter, Paxton Brooks, out on the field, so Heupel decides to play the field position game here early on.
That's the right call. I think you go for it there to try to catch him off guard, right? And now that you think about it, you don't want to put your defense in a bad spot back-to-back drives.
You would have taken my money if you would have said there are going to be 2 punts in the first 6 minutes of this game. Dontario Drummond, fair catch at the 14 after a 52-yard punt. Ole Miss looking to add to its 7-0 lead with a Heisman candidate, Matt Corral, returning.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And in part by new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Try the best combo ever today.
Tonight's the 5th Checker Neyland game. The lone win came against Florida in 2016. Cole should surprise none that this is a fan-driven concept here in Knoxville.
On September 15, 2014, Spencer Barnett, after seeing what Oklahoma did to stripe their stadium, said, "Why can't we checker Neyland?" In that tweet that you see on your screen. Now, he photoshopped that in to give the fans an idea of what it could look like. Tim McLeod would reach out to Spencer about a couple hours later. 48 hours later, he had already coded the entire stadium as to what each seat would have to wear color-wise, and asked could he then start the website checkerneyland.com. Spencer said, "Have at it, go for it. I think it would be cool." After the 4th Checker Neyland time, they gave up the website to the school. It is no longer theirs. The university now runs it. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of drama with it. Spencer's actually never been contacted by the university. Tim McLeod has gotten tickets from the school a couple of different times, but a really cool scenario by a couple fans that got this thing cranked up for now a really cool tradition.
Darian Ely swallowed in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Byron Young penetrates as Tennessee defense does damage behind the line.
And the D-line for Tennessee has been playing really well this year. Byron Young, one of their promising guys on the outside, and listen to this crowd now.
Tackles can barely hear Corral. Play clock at 5. Pressure, he'll sprint again. He's got a lead blocker. Corral scrambles and gobbles up the needed yardage. It's a 24-yard run.
And a great play call. Tennessee sat back in zone coverage, and this is a design quarterback draw with Ely as the lead blocker. They looked to the sideline, saw the over-the-top zone coverage, and dialed up the perfect play.
Handoff, Darian Ely, and he picks up 8.
immediately see the value of having that young man back. Jordan pointed it out, that's a heck of a job. You get 10, 12 yards downfield. It's tough to square up a defender one-on-one. Excellent block, and then you see what he can do in space with the football.
Superb athlete in both football and baseball. Ely, another opportunity here. He missed the baseball season for Ole Miss last spring and summer due to a shoulder injury that he suffered in the Egg Bowl. He said, I hadn't missed a spring since 9th grade. I didn't know what to do with myself. Ole Miss moving again. Pressure from the edge. They pick it up. Corral goes deep. Open. Incomplete. Ja'Cour Pearson, the second that has been off a Rebel receiver's hands near the goal line.
This ball was on the money. Matt Corral does a great job of looking right first to move the safety, and that's why there's nobody over the top of Pearson down there, and that's a ball that he has got to come down with.
This is Henry Parrish with a stiff arm. 7-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Interesting to keep an eye on as these drives wear on and Ole Miss tries to get the ground game going. Elijah Simmons for Tennessee, their D-tackle, biggest and probably most talented, is out for the 2nd straight game, so they're a little thin up front.
Touch pass, John Rice Plumlee, former quarterback, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Beasley with a big hit for Big Orange.
Beasley in there, Latrell Bumpus as well, who's replacing Elijah Simmons down there. And yet another 4th down here early for Ole Miss.
Ball came out, Corral's forward progress. It stopped, they didn't whistle it dead. It's picked and scooped, and Tennessee may have been gifted 6. Tyler Barron into the checkerboard. That's how I feel. What happened? Corral thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Corral, I think Corral thought the play was blown dead. You look at his body language. I don't think there's any doubt. He was just holding the ball like he thought play had stopped. I tell you what, it's like a boxing match. Defend yourself at all times. It's so loud here, it's hard to tell if there was a whistle, wasn't a whistle. The refs are going to sort this one out.
You know Floyd's taking that shot.
Going on the field as the quarterback was under control, progress was stopped. It is not a fumble.
That's a really quirky definition of forward progress being stopped when Matt Corral had given himself up. I wonder if it makes a difference that it was the quarterback when it comes to player safety.
Oh, absolutely. What did he say? Under control?
Yes.
So probably meaning that he was wrapped up by multiple defenders. His forward progress had stopped. They are always going to lean in the direction of player safety, especially with the quarterback there.
What we still don't know is why Matt Corral stopped.
It's got to be the noise, right? I mean, just thought he heard a whistle.
Cole, it's like the Ghetto Boys. Mind's playing tricks on him down there. How loud is it?
It's loud, Tom. It's the loudest stadium I've been in this year. And I've been in this place when it's been at its loudest. And it is rocking right now. This is what Neyland Stadium is supposed to be, what we are experiencing at this very moment.
Corral
bumped into Al Wilson on the sideline a couple minutes ago, Tom. He came up and he said, this is what it's supposed to look like. Talking about Neyland Stadium.
And sound like, and feel like. I'm not sure what Lane's perspective is.
I mean, he's the only one that stops.
So the ball ends up in Tennessee's hands after all of that, with a 4th down stop and a turnover on downs. Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator, said if they go for it on 4th down, that just gives us another chance for a turnover. Big play. Hooker, sideline. Incomplete. Trying to find Javonte Payton.
This is something Tennessee does really well, is create space for their wide receivers. Look at this down here. This is the guy that's got to decide, do I go back or do I add to the box? He goes down to the box. That leaves one-on-one coverage. No over-the-top defender. That's how you create one-on-one matchups, and that's why Hendon Hooker has been able to be so efficient, spacing, creating opportunities for him.
And that number 1 is Jake Springer, who's back in action for Ole Miss for the first time since the opener against Louisville in Atlanta. Jabari Small finds 2 yards. Chance Campbell, the Maryland transfer, has been a tackle machine for Ole Miss. Tennessee's got the tempo going. This is 3rd and long. Hooker going down the sideline again. Had a man open, overthrew him by 4 yards. It was Velus Jones.
That was really Mark Robinson in there that provided the pressure. This is a green dog by number 35. He's going to have the back. When he sees the back go into protection, he adds as a late blitzer, and that's what caused the errant throw by Hooker, because, man, Jones had his man beat and was wide open for a touchdown, but the pressure caused Hooker to be inaccurate.
Paxton Brooks to punt it away.
I mean, you said it earlier, but I didn't think we were going to see a punt in the first half.
Right.
This is crazy.
We got 3 of them in the first quarter. Vols had him surrounded. It is just straight chaos inside Neyland Stadium tonight. It's fitting with Lane Kiffin in town.
Okay, in studio, Alabama, of course, bouncing back from the loss to Texas A&M, up 7-3. Will Rogers fires, overthrow. Well, Jordan Battle simply makes a great defensive play, takes it 40 yards for the pick 6. It's 14-3 tied. They picked off Rogers twice, guys.
All right, thanks. At the 37th pick 6 under Nick Saban, tied with Louisiana Tech for the most in the nation in that span. 1st and 10, Ole Miss, 4 wide, including John Rice Plumlee at the slot top of the screen. There is a whistle. And we got movement on Ole Miss.
Before the snap, ball start, number 64, offense. After this, to the goal, still first down.
That's Nick Broker, the left tackle.
5:04 on the game clock.
John Rice Plumlee now exits, and they bring Casey Kelly back onto the field.
Lane Kiffin told me on the field before the game's on, because they're limited at tight end, we'll see a lot more John Rice Plumlee in 4 wide formations for the Rebels tonight.
Out of the end zone, into the mush. It's Snoop Conner for 1. Jeremy Banks, another stop for Tennessee. Part of this identity under Jeff Lebby is getting the receivers split wide. He's got 2 outside the numbers on either side. Pressure, Corral flips it. He was in the grasp, and they're looking for a safety, but he never left the pocket as Omari Thomas got to him. Is there a receiver there? I don't see any low numbers. All I saw were offensive linemen. It was a heck of a powwow with guys from both teams trying to get in on it.
Corral's probably lobbying there, going, oh yeah, that was 24 was kind of right there, and someone else was 17 was in there.
Yeah, didn't you see the numbers?
Yeah, come on. Here we go.
Mark Curls.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Number 2, offense. Is in the pocket. Through the
first Tennessee safety since Derek Barnett against Vanderbilt in 2015. Everybody had this being a 7-2 game in the first quarter.
And this is so hard as a quarterback. Omari Thomas comes right up the middle for one. You see it so late, and for two, you got nowhere to go, especially when you're standing in your end zone. I mean, a heck of a job by Thomas there, shedding the blocker. All 6'4", 320 pounds of him, making a huge play for Tennessee right there.
Tennessee leading Power 5 with tackles for loss. And they've been behind the line of scrimmage a number of times tonight. Second sack for the Volunteers.
Tell you what, early on, pretty impressed with Tennessee's defense as a whole, but they're front seven, right? They're a little thin up there. They're missing Elijah Simmons. The linebackers are flying around. They've been physical at the point of attack.
Movement up front, Jordan. That defensive line has slanted, by my count, over half of the snaps that they have played. And the Ole Miss offensive line is not dealing with it very well. We've seen them struggle with the zone stuff. Offensive linemen not able to get those defensive linemen reached because they're trying to reach somebody that's moving away from them, and it's been very difficult. And then I think on situations like that where they're going hurry up, the alignment might not be exactly what they anticipate, or you're getting a stem by the D-line right before the snap. So some confusion early for this Ole Miss offensive line.
You see Matt Corral gathering the offense and huddling everybody up, trying to rally the troops on the Ole Miss sideline. I didn't think we'd say it about Corral, but they seem rattled tonight.
Absolutely. That's why I love what Corral's doing right now. Bring everybody together. This is a crazy environment. Try to settle everybody down. Some mental mistakes, some physical errors early on. Yeah, Ole Miss got to get back on track. Tennessee with a big opportunity here.
Low line drive, and Tennessee with a chance for a turn. They'll have great field position at the 50, thanks to Jimmy Holiday.
Now, I mentioned the wide splits. What does that do? It creates conflict players. Look at this slot receiver, way wider than he should be, which means this linebacker's got to decide, do I help the run? Do I play the pass? He's got to do both, but he's got about 20 yards of ground to cover there. He can't play both, and again, another really wide split to the bottom of the field. Does this safety play over the top? Does he add to the box? Watch how much green grass this Tennessee offense has to throw when the splits are so wide. That's why Hendon Hooker is able to be so efficient, and it's a credit to Josh Heupel in this scheme, making it easy on the run game and the pass game.
Nifty move by Jabari Small. He's got a first down run, a pickup of 12. This has been a historically fast starting offense for Tennessee over the previous two games. And we've got a Ole Miss player down as Tennessee was looking to go tempo. This is not who you want down. This is Sam Williams Sr., their sack leader, who had a sack in each of the first 4 games this season. Williams enjoying this new 3-2-6 look from DJ Durkin, the co-defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, alongside Chris Partridge.
And Sam having a great year so far with 5 sacks, their best pass rusher. See, taking on a block there, and hard to tell. Maybe just got sandwiched there a little bit, took a hit, maybe his back. Either way, good to see him jump up, especially with Cade Mays out on the outside. He's going to be pivotal for getting after the quarterback tonight.
He added to his nameplate this year, added the senior when he had his son Sam Jr. He said, he's helped me mature. I have a son that I have to go hard for. You never let a man judge your heart or judge your effort. I won't let that happen anymore. He's been fantastic, and a great visit with him this week. Hooker just 1 for 4 to start the game.
Look at the splits here. Look how wide that is. They turn this into a 6-on-5 game, 6-on-6 game in the box.
Extra men in the box. Tennessee runs it anyway. Jabari Small with a first down carry of 22 yards.
Right, why play 11 on 11 when you can play 6 on 6 and 7 on 7? That's what this Tennessee offense does, and a reason their ground game has been on fire this year.
And here comes the tempo. To throw, end zone, caught! Touchdown, Cedric Tillman. No chasing points for Tennessee. They will go for one after that quick 3-play drive. Point after punch through. Tennessee, the safety, and a touchdown, and the Volunteers suddenly have the lead.
Tell you what, watch the post on the outside, but keep your eyes on Otis Reese right here and how the play action affects him. He stays low, and he is late getting over to that post by just a step. Great throw by Hendon Hooker, but it was the play action that held that safety that made the opening on the outside for Cedric Tillman.
DJ Durkin, the Ole Miss defensive coordinator, told me before the game, Jordan, those tight end looks that Tennessee will give you, whether it's a split look where they come flat across the line of scrimmage or they insert kind of like they did with that play, or at least showed an insert on that play, really has stressed the linebackers and safeties in practice this week. You saw how it can affect the back end of the defense on that play.
Brooks to kick it away. Short kick, chance for a return. Full speed ahead. And Ole Miss will take it at the 30-yard line. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Corral, 5 of 8, 26 yards. Those numbers don't tell the story. He stopped on one play, thought he heard a whistle, and he picked up a safety, sacked in the end zone.
Yeah, and so far, the best weapon has been his legs when Tennessee has played zone defense over the top. So let's see how Tennessee comes out and plays Matt Corral in this offense on this drive.
Corral with a swing pass. This was good for them early. It's Jerry and Ely. Cole, we talked about the missing tight end, Chase Rogers, out for this game. How does that impact Jeff Levy's offense?
Well, they're not able to run it exactly the way that they want to because of what the tight end brings in the run game, and then obviously helps stretch the middle of the field. They can't be exactly who they want without the tight end depth.
Who they typically are is one of the nation's best scoring offenses. Corral short hops that one to Dontario Drummond. Drummond, by the way, does not look 100% tonight.
Neither does Braylon Sanders. Both their top receivers a little banged up on the outside.
Third and 3. Trying to find the edge is Parrish. He's got a first down. And they'll keep the drive alive for Ole Miss, a pickup of 10.
Jordan mentioned Braylon Sanders. I've seen him over on the sideline. He has not had a helmet for about the last 10, 15 minutes on the Ole Miss sideline. Guys, tonight's the first time he's been in pads for a week. Lane Kiffin told me on the field before the game he didn't practice all week. First full contact he's had since the last time Ole Miss played.
Ole Miss tells us it's a lower body injury for Braylon Sanders, senior from Hogansville, Georgia. Ely will circle around Corral. Wanting to go deep. Beautiful pattern, and it's complete to Pearson. Pearson had the drop earlier. That one goes for 20.
And Tennessee brings blitz off the right side here. It's picked up well, and Pearson has an opening in that soft zone. As I mentioned, Tennessee playing safeties over the top so far against Ole Miss.
Here's Snoop Connor. Got touched at the line of scrimmage. Fights for one.
Pearson's an interesting piece. You remember last year, Elijah Moore, 5'8", that slot guy, so dynamic. Pearson, that same body type down here, a guy that's continued to grow into this offense, get more opportunities. The transfer from Western Kentucky got a lot of talent and just scratching at the surface of his role in this offense.
Corral wants to go deep. Down the sideline, and another overshot. Ely, the intended receiver that time, had him matched up with a safety.
That's the matchup they want, right? These running backs for Ole Miss, Ely, Connor, Parrish, they're all capable of lining up on the outside.
Given the analytics for Ole Miss, they should play third down for what on fourth down?
They should play what?
Third down? For what? It's a Butchism.
Oh. Yeah, that one went over my head.
Just like the trash can, the turnover trash can.
But again, as a defensive coordinator here in 3rd and 9, traditionally against a team you're thinking, okay, pass. Ole Miss might run the football here, try to pick up 4 yards and go for it on 4th.
Broker again had to check with Corral. Here's that draw again. And Corral picks up a first down, will lower his shoulder into Flowers. The ball came loose, but they rule Corral down back at the 15 after an 18-yard scramble.
Yeah, this is actually a PRO, a pass run option. Corral has the option to flip the ball out to the right. If a linebacker vacates, as he did, then he's got quarterback draw with the lead blocker. Another great play design, giving your quarterback options to attack a defense. You've heard of RPOs, haven't always heard of the PROs.
A lot of personnel shifting for Ole Miss, getting them in the right spot, including Kelly at tight end. Clock at 2. Snoop Connor got a block on the edge from Plumlee. And Trayvon Flowers forces him out after 2.
Oh, great job up front by Tennessee. Nothing there for Snoop Connor. Able to turn something.
How about the former quarterback getting his face mask dirty?
Plumlee can mix it up now. He's a physical dude on the outside.
Corral shot into coverage, trying to find Kelly. He was surrounded by Volunteers, including Alontae Taylor, who was injured. Alontae Taylor has turned himself into one of the best cornerbacks in the SEC after coming to Knoxville as a wide receiver. He told us, I've always played with a chip on my shoulder. I didn't feel like people believed in me, and I got something to prove every night. And you hope this isn't serious.
Corral trying to fit the ball into a really tight window here. Well, not the most ideal place to get a shoulder pad. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, Tennessee was at the first drive, I think, played exclusively cover 0 down here in the low red zone. Rolled the safeties down to try to stop the run. Left that middle of the field very susceptible. This time down, 2 safeties playing a little more zone coverage. That's why there wasn't really an open receiver there for Matt Corral.
We talked to Corral about the confidence that he has in play calling. He said, listen, Lane and Levy, they put me in a position to succeed where at first I couldn't believe that what they were telling me was true when I first started playing quarterback here, and now I believe and I know when I come to the line of scrimmage more often than not. He pegged it at 90% that they get the looks that they expect.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a cheat code.
That's great coaching. That's great analytics. That's great studying the tendencies on formations and downs and situations of other defenses. And hey, when you know the coverage as a quarterback, things get pretty easy, right? So Levy's done a great job of preparing Matt Corral to predict and to understand situations so he can better be armed before the snap of getting the ball in the right place.
Jeff Levy was an offensive lineman coming out of high school, went to Oklahoma to play O-line. A back injury ended his career early, and he started coaching immediately for Bob Stoops as a student assistant. Got a head start on his career, and he is now one of the hot shots in college football. Play number 35 of the first quarter for Ole Miss.
They're going to bring Pearson in motion here across the formation. Watch for maybe a quick throw to him.
They'll get it to him out of the backfield, and he overthrew it. Corral has been off tonight.
Yeah. He's also had a lot of stuff in his face. So some of these throws he's not been able to put on a line. Right here, bring Pearson across the line of scrimmage, trying to get it up and over a Tennessee defender there. And I tell you what, Pearson is all of 5'8" on the roster, which means he's probably about 5'7". Smaller target there for a quarterback, but again, Tennessee doing a good job of getting in the passing window and forcing difficult throws from Corral.
30-yard attempt from Caden Costa. Leaking right, but it will stay inside the upright. And Ole Miss regains the lead. Thinking Out Loud comes your way 7 o'clock Eastern on Monday night. Spencer Hall and Richard Johnson breaking down the weekend on the gridiron. The hottest topics for the coming week, like only they do. Right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. One tap. A lot to talk about in the conference this week, including big win for LSU at home against Florida today in what has become over the years a very unfriendly rivalry.
I mean, in a way, I think you could easily say Coach O coaching for his job in that game, as crazy as that is. 2 years removed from a national championship, the perception is national championship or bust for LSU. And I tell you what, they showed up on a huge stage against Florida today.
South Carolina pulled out a win at the buzzer. 1-point win over Vanderbilt, 21-20. Seth Nolan was the hero for the Gamecocks this afternoon down in Columbia. After a ragged start, we got a 19-point first quarter, which just about has us on pace. Fair catch. It'll bring out to the 25 with under a minute to go in the first quarter. More football action in 10 seconds. So Hendon Hooker, 2 of 5 tonight for 20 yards. He took over for Joe Milton. What makes Hooker the right quarterback for this Tennessee offense?
Well, I think it's the consistency and accuracy that lacked a little bit with Milton, not just in the downfield stuff, but in a lot of the short control passing game, but also it's what he's able to do with his legs, right? His mobility, extending plays has been dynamic for this offense, but when you can run the football like Tennessee, protecting the football is the most important thing, and he's done that well.
We got a flag on a straight ahead run from Jabari Small. Hendon Hooker had a Tennessee connection way back in his early days as a second string quarterback at Greensboro Dudley High School. The guy in front of him is who taught him how to study the game, Emmanuel Mosley, who led Dudley to a state championship in 2013. Would wear the Tennessee orange is a great defensive back here.
5 players in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Alignment issues for Tennessee. Funny, Cole, because Josh Heupel says tempo trumps alignment. Not that time.
No, still have to have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. Still have to find a way to make that alignment be by the rules. But yes, they'll get by where you normally would line up just to go fast. It's something a lot different than most teams will do it.
And they move again. The idea that they don't mind being imperfect because they're going to move so fast. This Dane Davis, the right tackle.
Number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
What does losing Cade Mays do to this team, Cole?
It's massive. He's their best offensive lineman. Played the best ball this year of any offensive lineman that they have. And then you get out on a wing, you're going fast. Obviously, tackle doesn't get as much help. It's a massive loss for Tennessee.
Turns into first and Fountain City for the Vols. Little shovel pass. Here's Small. Can't make everybody miss. And Jake Springer, transfer from the Naval Academy out of Kansas City with the stop.
Yeah, and they're really happy to have him back. He was injured against Louisville to start this season. Really going into the season in camp, he was their best player on defense. So the quicker he acclimates, the better this defense is going to be.
Pressure again. Hooker taken down. Jake Springer got to him. Brian Newberry was the defensive coordinator at Navy. He put Jake Springer at outside linebacker 2 years ago. They set him loose. He turned in one of the greatest sack seasons in Navy history, and he's continuing it here on Rocky Top against the Volunteers. We expect scoring. We're getting great defense. Everything he can to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, watch him come from the left side of your screen right here, blitzing off the edge, and Jabari Small is going to come try to block him. Bam! Watch that. I mean, takes the running back down, gets up off his knees, and sacks the quarterback. One of the reasons Ole Miss coaches were bragging about him, hoping he was going to be 100% because he is that dynamic and easily one of the best, if not already the best player on their defense now that he's back.
Almost put him in the body farm. 3rd and 20. 3-man rush. Pocket collapses. They get to him again. Sam Williams Sr. bowls his way into the Tennessee backfield. Cedric Johnson on the other side. Back-to-back sacks for the Rebels.
And look, this is going to be an issue with Tennessee. Cooper Mays out, Cade Mays out, shuffling positions around. Just a 3-man rush. You can see Sam Williams on the right side of your screen there. There's not much to that. If you're Tennessee, only 3-man rush, you got to be able to give Hendon Hooker a little bit more time than that. Good to see Sam Williams back on the field after he walked off with an injury earlier. But keep an eye on that for Tennessee. Protection up front is going to be an issue.
Dontario Drummond stands right on top of the power tee in midfield. Paxton Brooks from the checkerboard. Good looking punt. Fair catch taken at the 46. Matt Corral not having a great night, but he's having a remarkable season.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, he led the FBS in total offense last year. And this year, I think he's the most improved player in the country as well. Think about the one knock on him was turning the football over, and he hasn't done that. Yet to throw an interception, yes, he's been a little off tonight on a few throws. But the reason he's running the football more effectively is he's not forcing the ball in the pass game. When he sees a tight window, if it's not necessarily there, he's tucking it, using his legs, picking up yards, keeping drives going, and not turning the football over. One of the reasons Ole Miss is 4-1, not 1-4 like they were at this point last year. And one of the reasons that NFL draft scouts in the first round, top 10, are watching a lot of Matt Corral right now.
He's the reason Ole Miss is the only team in the country that hasn't thrown an interception. He's got a touchdown pass in 17 straight games. Second in school history to Chad Kelly. Corral wanted to go deep, sidearms this one to the sideline. And they did have a receiver out there as Dennis Jackson close enough. Corral through his first 5 starts last year versus this year.
Pretty crazy, huh? 9 interceptions through 5. He had a game with 5 interceptions last year, a game with 6 interceptions, and just completely different in that area playing the position, which, as you see the bottom there, one of the reasons they're 4-1.
Well, 6 interceptions came against Barry Odom's defense at Arkansas. Lane Kiffin said, we worked on that game for an entire year, and we were so motivated beforehand. And Matt Corral even said as much right before kick. So a couple of Heisman favorites out of the SEC. Bryce Young, 20 touchdowns to 3 picks. And Matt Corral, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
We'll say neither have really had a Heisman moment yet. You know, something that you always seem to need or see as a Heisman candidate. Both putting up incredible numbers, obviously.
Corral top 10 in the nation in total offense, pass efficiency, points responsible for, yards per attempt. Had a great game against Arkansas. Accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. Points responsible for Matt Corral, throwing and running, scores 24 points a night for Ole Miss. Rebels 4th in the country in points per game. Corral hands it off, and they'll find 3 yards for Henry Paris Jr. So whatever you do in your home stadium to get the crowd fired up on third down, when Ole Miss is in town and they're between the 30s, save it for fourth down.
Yeah, don't wear your voice out on third down tonight.
Corral keeps it. Quarterback run up the middle, and that'll set up fourth and about 3.
Again, a product of the analytics, right? How many times do you see a team on 3rd and 9 run the football? Not many, unless they're planning on going for it on 4th.
Corral's already dirtied his jersey tonight. Couple of grass stains. Pulls it back. Will run for another first down. That little ball fake can often be the difference. And that extra yard he picked up was the difference in keeping this drive alive.
Yeah, really wanted to dump the football off quick here to Pearson in the slot again, but Trevon Flowers jumps up in the window, and really smart, really quick decision to just tuck it, get as much as possible. Ended up picking up the first down.
He's wanting to throw. Deep drop. Ball was tipped and it falls incomplete. Amari Thomas, who had the sack on the safety, got into the backfield that time. That's a big 21. Tom Brady would not approve of him wearing that number.
I love it. I love when the big uglies up there get the 0, the 1, the 2. Like, come on, give it to me. They're athletes too.
9, 6, 11, and 21 on the defensive line at any given time for Tennessee.
They may be 330, but in their mind, they're 200 throwing down windmills on the basketball court.
They've been 200 since 4th grade. Corral finds a gap. Ely with the block. And Matt Corral will run for 9. Trevon Flowers hits him.
Again, what's so impressive about Corral running the football is these aren't designed quarterback runs. You know, Tennessee's playing great coverage on the back end, and Corral's just having to make quick decisions to pick up yards with his feet.
Here's Jerrion Ely on 3rd and short. He picks up the first down. There's great recognition also for the entire offense, but Jerrion Ely, when it's not a design quarterback run, to turn himself into a lead blocker.
Yeah, he does. Great awareness, great chemistry with Corral, and just knowing your quarterback.
Snoop Connor now next to Corral. They're going to split Drummond out all the way a foot away from the sideline, bottom of the screen. Pump, go, shot to the end zone. Caught, touchdown Ole Miss. Dennis Jackson from 33 yards.
Dennis Jackson came into this game with just 2 receptions on the season, working on Alontae Taylor, Tennessee's best cover corner on the outside.
Two and a half minutes on that drive, covering 54 yards. And Matt Corral, the great look-off.
Yeah, he's got great mastery of this offense, knowing exactly who to try to manipulate. This is just a slant and go on the outside, so Corral knows I got to pump hard to get Alontae Taylor to bite and then throw a dime over the top. What I love, though, is he separates his hand when he pumps. That's what the cornerback is looking at. Baits on it, gets him easily. Corral and this offense are pumped as they get back on track.
The passing touchdown for Corral. Right behind Chad Kelly, is now coaching East Mississippi Community College over in Scuba, and his coaching career started. Chad had a couple of huge wins in his time at Oxford. I've never seen a hype man run all the way onto the field at the hash marks, but that's what we got at Neyland.
It's Checker Neyland night. Tom, you never know what's going to happen.
Josh Heupel said you can't predict games like this, right? I mean, you get into some games and they turn into high scoring. He said, but every game has its own identity and personality. You usually don't get a feel for it until the game starts, about midway through the first quarter. This one still feels like it can go any direction, especially once Corral gets going.
Yeah, so if you're Josh Heupel in Tennessee, you don't change anything. It's 17-9. I mean, this is early in this football game. Got to establish the run and let Hendon Hooker continue to be efficient through the air to get the ball downfield.
All right, we're on the Tennessee River. Let's take you to the water. Philip Fulmer had a national championship in '98. When he left, Lane came to town, and well, then it would turn into a lazy river of sorts. This trio of Dooley, Butch, and Pruitt, 3 games under 500. And Josh Heupel said, I got a motorboat. We're speeding past all y'all in the tempo that we use. And he has certainly brought an exciting style of play.
Speedboat, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of boat companies around here.
How about that yacht that Fulmer had?
It's pretty good.
I'm going to get a ride on that thing.
3 yards. When Lane left here in the dark of night for USC amidst burning couches and mattresses and all sorts of media drama, he left for what was his dream job. Bayless Jones on the outside, and he said as much. And Lane, his dad Monty, was on the staff. He's in town with the team tonight. They were very connected in many ways to Knoxville. Lane said, that's the favorite house I've ever had. 3rd and short. And that's enough for the first down, I think. There was no guaranteeing that Lane Kiffin was going to keep the thing moving in the right direction here in Knoxville. Well, nobody even knew how long he was going to be here, especially with some of the recruiting they were doing at the time. But he represented promise in a new age offense and this brashness that Tennessee fans truly embrace. And then when that was gone in the middle of the night, it was like they got dumped.
Yeah, gone, and then it's been a roller coaster, a scary one for Tennessee since that point. But I tell you what, they have what they wanted in Lane Kiffin now with Josh Heupel. The offense, the scheme, the ability to recruit and bring in talent on the offensive side of the ball because of the style of play. So Josh Heupel, to me, coach of the year for what he has done so far for Tennessee.
3rd and 5, Hooker, spin move, and then it gets cut down in the open field. Mark Robinson with the stop for Ole Miss.
Just trying to push the ball downfield. Little leakage up front forces Hooker out of the pocket.
3rd sack for the Rebels tonight. Land Sharks have come out of the river, and Tennessee will punt it away. Dontario Drummond back for Ole Miss. Big stop for the Rebels. Beautiful punt, angles Drummond out of bounds. We got a 17-9 game, 9:07 of the half.
Night, presented by T-Mobile, is brought to you by Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill. Duke's Mayonnaise, the only mayo with that southern something, that added oomph. Duke's, it's got twang. And new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. And Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Try the best combo ever today.
When these two programs get together, the first family of football goes to the front of the stage. The Mannings. Lane was begging for a Manning cast. Come on, ESPN, give the people what they want. Reddit College football has been asking for it for a month. Eli said Peyton wimped out on calling this game, so we did the best we could do. To be quite honest, cardboard cutouts of Peyton and Eli is about all that our budget will allow. We heard you people. We wanted it too.
Yeah, but fortunately, ESPN found the second biggest forehead in the company, and also a younger brother that was not as good as his older brother at football. So it's the next best thing.
Yeah, well, we've got us two in the booth and Cole down on the field. He's definitely not Koopa either.
I do have a lead offspring, however.
By the way, the next Manning cast coming up a week from tomorrow. The Seahawks visiting New Orleans, Archie's old team. Cole?
I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love the Manning cast. Just hearing those two go at it, number one. But then obviously, when they dive into talking football, there's just nothing better.
I was trying to get in the mood, so I got a suitcase full of quarter zips and khakis, and we did stay at the Graduate. That should count for something. Ole Miss trying to find some room with Snoop Connor, and he picks up 7.
I mean, I got Peyton student ID as my room key. Does that count?
Yeah, certainly.
I can shout Omaha a few times, and we got a helmet up here I can put on.
You could swim in Peyton's helmet.
Yeah. You, though, would fit it perfectly.
Corral, pressure, they got him from behind. Ball came out, and Ole Miss luckily recovered it. Matthew Butler punched it free on the sack, and Jordan Rhodes able to find it on the turf.
Again, just great coverage downfield. You can see Corral just holding onto the football, waiting for something to come open. And Butler does a great job of continuing to find work and eventually beats Rhodes for the sack.
Third sack of the night for the Volunteers. Corral trying to scramble for another one. Picked up 4. And that's going to leave 3rd and long. Beasley was there. Corral shaking his head a little bit after taking another shot. John Rice Plumlee in the slot. Extra man coming. Corral flushed. Pump fake and a scramble, and he tight ropes up the sideline. And they will mark him right at the yard line to gain. I think he might be enough.
Wow. Corral again under pressure, and look at the awareness.
4th and inches. They'll stay out there inside the 30. And a whistle to stop the play before it started. They're going to take another look at the spot.
Before the snap, we were notified by replay that the previous play ruling of a 4th down short of the line of game is under review.
This was amazing. Baryshnikov would love this footwork by Matt Corral. Watch his left foot on his last step to stay in bounds. He needed to get to the 30 to pick up the first down.
Yeah, this last step, not even this one, this last one somehow stays in bounds. His toe there is definitely past the 30-yard line.
Half of his foot is past it, and the ball is out front.
Yeah, I think it's at least at the 31, maybe even closer to the 32. Right? It's going to be where the ball is when he goes out of bounds.
Yellow line unofficial, obviously. That stride and that left foot, that is in bounds. That's an Ole Miss first down.
So he's not out of bounds till, but yeah, it's like the 31-yard line. What was the reference you made?
Baryshnikov.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, the Russian guy. He wore tights all the time.
Ballet?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're a big ballet
We
guy,
really
huh?
need to. Life is not just Dumb and Dumber and Step Brothers, okay? We need to expand your horizons.
Do we, though?
No, I like you just the way you are.
I'm not, I don't watch too much
After
ballet.
further review, the runner did make the line to gain. It is first down at the 31-yard line.
Very little difference between Swan Lake and the Fountain City Duck Pond. What makes Matt Corral such a good runner?
Oh, it's the savviness, right? You saw the late pump fake there, just trying to hold defenders. That pump fake holds a defender, allows him to turn the corner there. He's got great vision and great awareness, right? Body control to stay on the sideline there, but it's really his vision and awareness that allows him to see those small gaps in the protection, to get vertical. Makes him dangerous.
They'll roll the pocket. He finds a tight end, Kelly. And that turns into a pickup of 7 on first down. And an injured Volunteer, Warren Burrell, the junior from Suwanee, Georgia, out of North Gwinnett High School. Bulldogs are on ESPN Friday night. Had a big win. Neither offense has really hit its stride and put together multiple drives for 2 of the top scoring offenses in college football. This pace a little bit slow.
Okay, in studio, Alabama, Mississippi State 15-point game. Mississippi State might feel like they're in this thing. And on the first play of the second half, Bama sticks them. Bryce Young's second touchdown pass of the game. Jamison Williams to the house for 75 yards. 28-6 now tied.
Di, thanks. It has been such a chaotic college football season already. Iowa fell to Purdue today. Michigan State sneaking up on people, now 7-0. Texas lost another one at home to Oklahoma State.
Texas was up in that, too.
And outscored in the second half. Corral pulls it back, fires to the seam, complete. This is Dontario Drummond. He's got an Ole Miss first down, and he's got the sideline. Dontario Drummond takes it all the way for a 52-yard pickup down to the 12-yard line.
Great job by Corral here. Watch this. He wants to throw in that first window. Tennessee defender right there, so he pulls it down, still able to get Drummond the ball quickly. And that's all Drummond after that.
And now Corral off of Drummond's hands, and a near pick by Alontae Taylor. Vols fans not only want Taylor to do well, but if he gets a pick, they all get free cookies. So that was that close to feeding everybody.
Do we get free cookies?
Well, sure, we're in the building.
I love cookies.
That's the kind of NIL deal everybody appreciates. Corral just 10 of 20 tonight. Shot on the wheel route, incomplete. Henry Parrish drifted out of bounds. They had Solon Page, a linebacker, matched up with him.
Another cover zero look down here in the low red zone by Tennessee. That's the matchup Ole Miss wanted, but great job in coverage using the sideline.
I'm curious if this is 4-down territory, if Lane Kiffin with 6 minutes to go in the half would take the points. Going right back to Snoop Connor. He is right at the marker. See where the spot is. It's a first down, first and goal now for Ole Miss. Connor tripped up short of the goal line. Now second and goal from inside the 1. Ole Miss going fast. Actually just outside the 1. Connor again shoves his way to the goal line. He is in, and Ole Miss adds to its lead. The catch and run by Drummond set the table. A little hotty-toddy has infiltrated Neyland Stadium. Caden Costa with the point after. It is a 24-9 Ole Miss lead.
We talked about Matt Corral's ability to have awareness running the football. How about throwing the football? Because right here, Beasley is going to get in the passing lane that Matt Corral wants to hit this first window to Drummond. Look at this. He's got to pull it down and throw that second window ball, which is dangerous as a quarterback because then you get into safety's backside. Luckily, a quick release, accurate throw by Corral, and Drummond, being such a playmaker, does the rest. Easy punch in for Connor to cap off the drive.
And Ole Miss offensive line shoving the way through. The completion officially 50 for Drummond. And up in the Ole Miss coaching booth, Jeff Lebby. Grew up in the game. Dad, a high school coach alongside Art Briles. cut his teeth. Not only don't we got a fire extinguisher in the sideline.
Whoa. Okay.
Start the party.
Is that one of those things? So like not a touchdown chain or not a anything like that. We got a fire extinguisher.
I don't get it, but I get it. Bayless Jones out to the 25. Hey, thanks to our friends at Wheels Up, helping make travel easier. Jordan was at SEC Nation in Athens this morning, and here in Knoxville tonight, you had a couple of stowaways on your plane, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a couple guys came up to me at the airport, wanted to bum a ride. I think his name was Kirk Herbstreit, and another guy named the Bear. I don't know, but I guess I let him. So.
Nice of you to let them drop you off.
Yeah,
keep on going.
Dropped me off here in Knoxville. They flew off to Norman, and we chatted a little football.
Did you get any picks from Felica?
No, I didn't. You mad at me?
No.
Should have brought you some, huh?
This one is lower scoring than the experts predicted here in the first half. Trying to set up a wide receiver screen. Ole Miss is all over it. And a great play on the edge to deny Cedric Tillman, the junior from Las Vegas, out of Bishop Gorman. 2nd down 9. Only 65 yards for Tennessee tonight. This is only the Volunteers' 20th play. Ole Miss's offense has run 55 plays to this point. Springer stops small. 3rd down. So here's the problem with tempo, right? Makes 3 and outs a lot quicker.
Got a free play here.
Going deep down the sideline. Tillman will be interfered with by Jalen Jones, and Tennessee will end up with a 1st down. The movement was on the left side, the right side of Ole Miss's D-line.
And they're going to get pass interference down here at the bottom as well.
Tennessee came in averaging 41.5 points a game.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 44, defense. That penalty's declined. Pass interference, number 31, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
On the left side here, Sam Williams jumping a little early, triggering on the motion. Hendon Hooker sees that, knows he's got a free play, tries to throw a jump ball on the outside to Tillman, and pass interference.
Tempo forces a lot of things. It also forces opponents into mistakes. Tennessee is 4th in the country. They picked up now 17 1st downs via penalty. So guys get out of position. They make mistakes. Tennessee trying to get that tempo going here tonight. The ground game has been snuffed. They came in 6th in the country in rushing, 7th in the country in scoring. Only 9 points so far in the first half.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons also haven't had many opportunities downfield, right? Ole Miss is actually playing coverage on the back end, but slowing down the run. So those play actions aren't really doing much right now. They'd love to push the ball downfield.
Hooker fires to Tillman. It's a 1st down. Picks up a couple more, and a little bit of talking on Jake Springer. Ole Miss trying to get some subs in. Tennessee did not sub. Rebels get caught with extra men on the field, and they'll run it on the left side with Small. There's no flag on the field. There it is. Pardon me. The back judge got it. Ole Miss, I think, had 14 on the field. Lane Kiffin saying the ball was out of bounds. We should have had a chance to sub it. Tennessee did not sub.
Yeah, Lane saying.
Substitution infraction. More than 11 players on the defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Tell them it doesn't really matter as long as the offense doesn't sub. This is a point of concern for both sides, really, defensively, because they play in games that run so many plays. Is getting your 2nd string guys in the game in lower leverage situations to where you have fresher legs in high leverage situations with your 1st stringers.
Yeah, you got to rotate guys in there as much as possible. And like you mentioned, especially as you get onto this side of the field and closer to the red zone, that's when you want to get your starters back in. So you're really trying to play a chess game here, trying to predict how quickly they're getting downfield and when to get your starters back in.
So it's 5 yards from the previous spot and 1st down.
And Ole Miss just caught off guard on that one. Not quick enough.
Going back to those substitutions, Tom, I spoke to DJ Durkin, Ole Miss defensive coordinator, before the game, and he said you almost have to treat it like an offensive coach treats scripting a game. There are certain points in time when you know new defensive linemen have to come in, new linebackers, new DBs have to come in, or else you get caught in that tempo that Jordan was talking about, and you can't get your subs into the game.
They're, by the way, Cole, they're discussing the intricacies of this penalty. The choice was 1st and 5 or 2nd and 3. And obviously Tennessee wants the 1st and 5. Mark Curls led crew. And they'll put the spot at the right hash. Waving off the play and going with the penalty.
Let's see if Tennessee tries to get Velus Jones involved down here. Just 2 receptions, 9 yards on the night. One of their best receivers working in the slot at the top of your screen.
Big hole on the right side. Jabari Small, sophomore from Memphis, picks up 7. Excuse me. That is Laneith Whitehead with his first carry of the night.
And Ole Miss was respecting Velus Jones, had a safety roll over the top. That's why Tennessee decided to run opposite.
Hooker goes down again. Mark Robinson with Ole Miss's 4th sack of the night.
You're going to see the offensive line slide this way. You're going to see double blitzers off this side. Only one running back is going to be able to pick them up. You're going to have a free rusher. That's one of those things with tempo. The quarterback can't adjust that protection, right?
Yeah.
In a pro-style system, you got time to maybe give a false cadence, look at it, slide the protection. Tempo, you don't. That ball's just got to come out. It's not ideal.
Jake Springer pointing at his right knee. Started his college career at the United States Naval Academy, coming out of Park Hill in Kansas City, Missouri. Had a great run with Navy. 2nd team all-conference. 3rd most productive sack season in Academy history. And then opened up the opportunity to come play in the SEC. Took advantage of it. Played against Louisville. Has missed time until tonight after that Labor Day Monday. DJ Durkin, one-time head coach at Maryland, was defensive coordinator in Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. Prior to that at Florida for a season. This is an Ole Miss defense that came in 107th in the country, allowing 32 points a game. They run a defense borrowed from Iowa State, a 3-2-6, which allows them to bring coverage from a lot of different places and bring pressure from different spots.
Yeah, it's really hard for a quarterback to evaluate where pressure can come from because you got so many guys moving around and just 3 down linemen. That's why Ole Miss has had some success getting to Hendon Hooker. And like I mentioned, with tempo, the quarterback doesn't have the opportunity to slide protection, change protection. He's got to see it and get rid of the ball to the hot route as quickly as possible in a situation like that you just saw.
Springer helped off with an apparent knee injury. Alex Golish is the offensive coordinator for Tennessee. He said he knows that Iowa State defense very, very well. He spent some time at Iowa State, 3 seasons there. As a tight ends coach and working on the offensive side. He said we win against the 3-2-6 every day. Quarterback draw. Hendon Hooker taken down after a gain of 2. And Tennessee just can't get it into gear tonight. 79 total yards. Ole Miss has run twice as many plays. 3-man rush. Hooker tried to fit it in a window, and a great break by Miles Battle, junior out of Houston Cy Creek. And we got multiple flags after the fact.
There's no foul on the play. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
it's just great coverage. Tennessee goes empty. Ole Miss playing zone coverage on the outside. Miles Battle playing the flat position there, right? So his job is to get that receiver to outside release and then get his eyes inside to read the quarterback and pick up any route coming into his flat zone. Did a great job there and almost came away with a pick.
4th and 15. Brooks will try to kill this one inside the 10. With Drummond standing on the 10-yard line. 2:34 to go in the half. See if this one will check up. Oh, beauty. Taken at the 9 after a 31-yard punt. Great special teams play by Tennessee. Long field for Ole Miss. All right, guys, it was unexpected. The point total over 80. Highest predicted point total in the SEC in over 20 years. Corral, slow start. He's certainly picked it up since. See if the Rebels have one more in them before the half. Kelly got redirected. Corral on the run. Finds him anyway. What a great job by Casey Kelly. It turned into a 12-yard gain after he was knocked off his route. Boy, he got popped. A great job recovering.
You know, they call that a reroute. That one was like just getting completely derailed and somehow getting back on track.
Good jump off. Corral taken down after a low snap and penetration by the Tennessee D-line. Byron Young was the first to get there, but it looked like Butler read the snap count too.
Now they're running a twist over there anyway. Butler the penetrator, Young coming as the loop man. I think there was some confusion on the left side of that Ole Miss offensive line that the ball had even been snapped.
2nd and 13. Pressure. Corral escapes it, and this will turn into another big run for Ole Miss. 16-yard gain.
Watch 51. Orlando Umana getting out. I told you guys earlier in the game, you get in space like that, bodying a defender up sometimes can be very difficult. Second level taken care of. Big yardage for Matt Corral.
Came in just in time for fall camp, transferred from the University of Utah. Pressure up the middle coming. Corral pulled it back. Back foot finds the sideline.
What's crazy about those quarterback draws is that those are pass run options. There's a pass that is the primary play there when it's not there quick. The center's releasing downfield. They have a lead blocker, and it's been a very effective play for Ole Miss. I think that's the 3rd time they've ran that. Each time it's worked.
Sorry, they got it for intentional grounding. You don't usually see that on ball thrown that far.
There's a lot of guys over there. I wonder if they're just saying it was.
Well, DeAndre Price caught it on the bench 15 yards off the field.
I know, but in that direction, let's top of your screen here. Let's see. Got 5 that's working over there. Right here, got a guy right here. I mean, see that's kind of the new interpretation of it. I think they're just going to say, hey, obviously you just threw it 10 rows into the stands. We're going to call it, but as a quarterback protecting himself, there's 2 receivers in that direction.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
I disagree with that call.
They'll try to run. Darian Ely stood up. If nothing else, they've used some clock at this point now with the 1:02 to go. Tennessee will stop it.
30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1:04.
Volunteers trying to get the ball back.
Little pump fake before that throwaway, but I tell you what, that pump fake has been lethal tonight when coverage isn't there, to move defenders when he needs to set up the quarterback draw right there, create some room on the outside. And how about this one? Get a defender to bite on the slant, hit the go right behind him for a big touchdown. That is the evolution of a quarterback. First couple of years, you're just trying to figure out what the play is, and then you evolve into the really the role or the ability to manipulate the defense to do what you want them to.
Well, Ole Miss has never had a Heisman winner in terms of dual threat quarterbacks. By the way, of smaller stature, Matt Corral on pace nicely with 2 guys who did win it at Oklahoma, Baker and Kyler.
Also 2 guys that went #1 overall.
Yep. Durability would be the key for that size, right?
Absolutely, but you could say the same thing about Kyler Murray. I know Murray's got a little more juice to him, a little more wiggle. But yeah, Matt Corral's definitely on the smaller side of quarterbacks.
3rd down 9. Plumlee on the wheel route. It is broken up on a sensational read by Theo Jackson. He won that one in the film room.
Wow, their leading tackler making a great play in coverage. I mean, he was out of position initially, but he broke on that wheel route so quickly. He was able to cut off the ball before it got there. Great play by Theo Jackson.
Mac Brown on to punt it away to Velus Jones. 1:01 remaining. Ole Miss ended up using 1:25. That was a boomer of a kick. Oh, Mrs. Brown is feeling better now after that 51-yarder. You got 53 seconds left. This is a high-octane offense. You can score quickly, but they haven't looked like it tonight. What can they accomplish in under a minute?
Well, you got plenty of time, right? You have 2 timeouts, 53 seconds. I know that sounds crazy to say, but this is an offense that's used to operating really quickly. Ball's going to pause after a 1st down, so got to find a way to get a slant, get a route, get something where you hit your receiver on the run so you can get some yards after the catch. The deep shots haven't been there because Ole Miss is playing zone coverage over the top. So get something short with green grass and give your receiver an ability to run after the catch.
Emergency offensive line for Tennessee. Dane Davis in for Cade Mays at right tackle most of this half. Hooker, pressure by a 3-man rush. And he gets out of the pocket to pick up 2. Tennessee has a pair of timeouts remaining. Jamon Gordon to stop.
Looking to the boundary. A lot more room down here to the field. Thought he'd work the slant down. Let's see if he works the field on this one.
Half a minute to go. Hooker looking over the middle. And Velus Jones stopped when he heard the footsteps coming. And Hooker was still leading them right into Otis Reese.
Yeah, just late. Right, Velus Jones was open early on this route. You can see the hesitation right there. He should have let it go. Right, first window. Throw it in the first window on the right side of number 35. He tried to fit it in the second window and just too late. That's when the safety comes into play and can break that up.
Hooker threw for 225 and 3 touchdowns in the win against South Carolina. Only 39 yards in this first half. A bullet complete to Jalen Hyatt, his first grab. Clock will stop at 21. 2 timeouts left. It's a pickup of 17. Volunteers hurrying to the line. Hyatt was on the wrong side. Hooker again. This is Velus Jones. First man missed. 47-yard line. 11. Get the timeout after a pickup of 12.
Jones Jr. First down, ball.
It's been a fantastic crowd really all day long here in Knoxville. Let's take a look at Fansville, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. This was amazing. This was before the Vol Walk. This is how it used to be. It was like this all the time. Ben posted up. Vol Walk was great. Ole Miss fans recognizing the opportunity to come to Knoxville for a good party. And they checkered Neyland.
Pretty special place when there's this kind of positivity and momentum around a program. Not many places in the country better than Rocky Top when it's like this.
Yeah, 5th largest stadium in the nation. 102,355 paid attendance tonight.
I need to pick up about 20 yards here. I'd look for a route somewhere here in the middle of the field, catch it, pick up a little bit, call a timeout if you can.
Ole Miss rushes 4 that time. That's where they go. Velus Jones has it, and he turns it upfield. 4 seconds, 3 now, 2. 32-yard gain. Timeout, Tennessee.
And a great route combination there. Inside receiver runs a vertical route to open things up for Velus Jones in that dig route right behind him. Zone coverage over the top for Ole Miss. That dig route fits right into that void. And here's what I'm talking about. The number 3 receiver, the first one inside, is going to run vertical. Going to hit that dig right behind it. That first route's trying to get those linebackers to back up, stress the safeties, open up that void, and a great throw by Hooker. And a really good job by Velus Jones of picking up even about 12 more yards, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he caught that ball right around the 35 or so, maybe a little past that, picked up about 12 more yards to make it a much easier field goal attempt here at the end of half.
Chase McGrath, transfer from USC. He's on the Lou Groza Award watch list. That play last year was honorable mention all Pac-12 with the Trojans. This would be from 39. Ole Miss uses a timeout.
Timeout, Ole Miss. 30-second timeout.
Ole Miss has run twice as many plays nearly as Tennessee, 61-31.
And Tennessee, though, nearly doubled their entire first half production in this last drive.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like 70-something yards.
Yeah, 63 on this drive.
Yeah.
One of the things we talked about with both of these coaching staffs, in a game like this, you're never out of it, and you're never safe. Heupel has had a couple of those big ones at UCF, 17-point comebacks, 14-point comebacks. They'll call this a 39-yard attempt from McGrath. And Kiffin going to ice it.
Boy, he's ice baby on this, doubling it up. You see, he kind of had a smirk there a little bit. He was waiting for it.
Lane Kiffin gives off this vibe that he doesn't care what anyone thinks, but it was a revelation when we were talking to him this week about his use of analytics. And he said, yeah, listen, when we do something that seems outlandish, we've actually studied for, we've got the numbers that say it's in our favor for winning the game, and it doesn't work. He goes, I cringe because I know I'm going to have to answer questions about it. I'm going to get criticized for it.
He said he's almost to the point of relief rather than joy when they convert a 4th down.
Tony La Russa used to say that he would have hit his pitcher 8th every night if he didn't have to answer for it in the post-game presser. One timeout left for Kiffin. He's going to do it again. He is.
Oh, yeah.
Lane Kiffin has brought his Twitter trolling game to the sideline of Neyland.
You can't take him with you into halftime. Might as well unload the clip.
There's a smirk and a smile. Coming up at the half, you can watch a live performance, the Pride of the Southland Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app.
It's a little chilly out there tonight, too. I mean,
Grow up. It feels great. This is football weather.
Hey. I'm just thinking of Chase McGrath down there, you know?
Oh, I thought this was a comment on band costumes. Glad we're back to the game.
I think he drills it.
Let's see, trying to find some momentum. What a great drive to close the half. And McGrath gets it over the crossbar. 36-point first half. Ole Miss with a 12-point advantage. Volunteers will try to carry that momentum, receiving the second half kickoff. Fewest first half points for Tennessee this year. Previous low was 14 in the loss to Florida. Here's Cole with Lane.
Make a field goal.
What does the analytics say about 3 consecutive timeouts?
It actually says it's supposed to ice them. Don't let them kick it like in golf or to get a free shot.
All right, so Matt Corral has had a lot of plays where he's pumped hard, pulled the ball down, and then run. What's causing him to do that?
Well, he's playing without a lot of players, too. Braylon Sanders is out for the game. He's already down to third, fourth receivers, tight end. So he's making plays, and some of those are quarterback draws, too.
Tennessee under 150 total yards. You have to feel pretty good about the way your defense has stood up in the first half.
I do. We screwed up there at the last end of the half, giving them 3. But, you know, to be up 24-12 on the road, we weathered their storm, which was a great energy right away in the first quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin was furious with his defense last week. Much better feeling tonight. Neyland is checkered. Ole Miss has a 12-point lead. Second half is going to be straight chaos. It's never chaos in the studio with Dari driving the bus, fellas.
Tom, I would love to believe that. I'm not sure that I do, as we welcome you into the Regions halftime report. Dari, Doring, Watson, and Chizik. And 24-12, I think you'll...
Back to SEC Saturday night, presented by T-Mobile. They have checkered Neyland, and Ole Miss has shut down this Tennessee offense, holding the balls to their lowest point total in the first half of the season. After a slow start, Matt Corral has gotten it going. Tom, Jordan, go down there on the field. How has Ole Miss slowed down this Tennessee run game, and how important is it for the Vols to get it back?
Yeah, they've been physical up front, right? They haven't been stacking the box. They've been playing zone coverage on the outside, but Tennessee just 42 rushing yards in the first half. They got to get things going. They got to find some ways to get unbalanced at times, get an edge, because they haven't got to the edge at all yet.
Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Zaxby's. Matt Corral, as I mentioned, slow start, but then got it going. 164 yards in the air, 95 on the ground, without 2 of his best receivers in this game.
Yeah, I think that's part of why you see him waiting on routes to develop downfield, pump faking, trying to find ways to get these guys open, because Drummond's not quite 100%. Braylon Sanders is out for the game and hasn't been on the field. That's a huge loss. He's already down his starting tight end in Chase Rogers, so down a few weapons, but Corral is still making plays.
Bayless Jones going to bring it out to the 20 and stop short of the 25. Cole, what'd you learn?
I talked to Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel coming out. Going back to what Jordan was saying about the run game, said the recognition up front has not been good by the offensive line, and Bonus Biggs trying to pick up what Ole Miss is showing them. Said that has to be better, not just understanding how to get on your blocks, but what they're throwing at him. And as far as Cade Mays is concerned, he has been ruled out for the second half of this football game.
And that's really part of it, right? You're missing 2 of your offensive linemen up front. Tyon Evans was a game-time decision. He's not played, so it's Jabari Small and Hendon Hooker, and a few offensive linemen that are not used to being in certain positions or playing this many snaps.
And Ole Miss getting pressure with 3. Hooker goes outside. Throughout the night they've done that. Here's Tillman, who's got a touchdown pass in the game, a touchdown reception, and he's a little gimpy getting up.
Josh Heupel also added to that fellow, saying he feels like they have to get Hendon Hooker involved in the run game as well.
Hooker hands this one off to Jabari Small. First down.
Small's carries. First down, ball.
5 punts, 79 yards over the first 6 drives. They close the half with a good one. Ended it with a field goal. Took advantage of Ole Miss essentially being in a prevent with a huge pass over the middle to Bayless Jones a couple of times. Hooker caught by Tillman. Gain of 11, had 2 right there.
That little play action here, hit a curl route on the outside. Tillman does a good job of getting in space, working back to the quarterback. Actually, ball a little high, but Tillman at 6'3" went up and grabbed it.
Handoff, huge hole, Jabari Small. Nice redirection and the bend back to the inside, a 27-yard run.
Great block by Darnell Wright, number 58 here, standing up Sam Williams and blowing open a huge hole for Jabari Small, and they haven't had a push like that all night. Great start.
6th in the country, 253 yards on the ground per game. Handoff quickly swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Mark Robinson has been busy tonight. Couple of sacks in that TFL. Great game by Robinson, who has been a couple different spots in his college career. Transferred in from Southeast Missouri State. Prior to that, at Presbyterian College, in his former football life, he was a college running back. Whitehead, no gain. Helmet came off. Whitehead will have to come out for a play. 3rd and a couple for Tennessee. Opening drive, second half. Vols just 2 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Flag over the middle. Caught. Velus Jones stays on his feet. He is down inside the 1. 29-yard gain.
Well, once again, this Tennessee offense gets Ole Miss
Defense number 97.
to jump offside.
Result of the play is a first down.
Free play here for Hendon Hooker. He knows it. Velus Jones just on a seam route up the middle. A great ball thrown with velocity and accuracy, and Velus Jones almost finished that one off.
Mass substitutions both sides. Ole Miss running 5 on and 5 off now. 1st and goal, Tennessee. Small is the tailback. Straight ahead. And that pile will get shoved across the goal line and in. Touchdown, Tennessee scores on consecutive possessions for the first time tonight.
What a statement drive for Tennessee, right? Find a way to get points right before half, get a field goal, get a little momentum, and come out your first drive all the way downfield and cut this to 1 score.
Well, a big pass to Velus Jones is what set the stage. It went for 29 yards after Ole Miss couldn't bring him down. And that set up this plunge from Jabari Small and this much maligned offensive line doing its job on the goal line. The crowd's back into it here at Neyland. Been playing football on this site for 100 years now. Shields Watkins Field. And Tennessee, when they met Ole Miss and Knoxville, has dominated this series. 25 of 30 wins, including 7 consecutive. SEC Saturday night presented by T-Mobile. And we got a good one brewing here in Knoxville. Opportunity for a return. Dennis Jackson. We got a flag on the play as he took it out to the 25. We've got 2 flags. 3 flags. It's like a parade down there.
They're all nicely laid out right next to each other.
In a row. Who's? Well, that's time of COVID. You can't be sharing flags.
No, you picked up the wrong one.
During the return, holding number 0, return team. Penalties 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
How about the offensive line for Tennessee?
Yeah, how do you set the tone for a touchdown drive? Tom, you asked me in our production meeting last week, what's a glass eater? How about Javontes Spraggins, Jordan? You need to draw that line a little bit longer. Pulling around, getting locked onto the linebacker, down the field, wallops Chance Campbell to get that drive going for the Tennessee Volunteers. That's what Josh Heupel said they needed coming out of the half.
I challenged Cole to get a wallop in tonight, and he delivered. The sophomore out of East St. Louis High School. Took the Flyers to a state championship, home of Dana Howard. That guy could get off the line on the other side of the ball.
Here's where Tennessee's got to feed into a little bit of this crowd noise here.
Biggest BC Boys concert I've ever been to. 1st and 10. Corral on the run. Delivered a near strike, but Drummond couldn't come down with it.
Boy, Corral just about 2 feet behind Drummond here. I mean, that's one that you want your receiver to catch. You should be able to catch that, but running full speed across the field, having to turn your body, it's not easy, especially with that much juice on the ball.
Crowd certainly into it. Corral puts that one on the numbers, and it's carried by Casey Kelly for an Ole Miss first down. Gain of 12.
Well, the arm talent for Matt Corral is something special. Watch how he manipulates his arm here. He usually throws 3/4. That time he goes up over the top, but such a quick release. That ball gets out so fast once he makes the decision.
Great off-platform thrower, and this one stays true, and it's dropped by Ja'Cour Pearson.
I love that right there. See Lane Kiffin slap him on the helmet, give him a little encouragement, because that's the second drop by Ja'Cour Pearson tonight. Had the big one earlier in the game that would have been a touchdown on a post route. This time a wheel route, one he should come down with.
On 2nd and 10, back to the ground game. And they pick up a handful for Parrish. I want to go back to that off-platform throwing. This system's been around for a while. Kevin Cobb, when he played for Art Briles at Houston, was the first big quarterback to really get good at it. And Corral's got a baseball background. It seems easy to him.
Yeah, and it's a necessity in this offense, right? The quick throws, the RPOs. You don't get to have your base set every time. Got to be able to throw from different platforms and generate velocity without your base.
Pressure coming. 5-man rush. They beat it with a toss to Dennis Jackson, and he's got a Rebel first down.
Dennis Jackson kind of evolving into that third receiver that Ole Miss has been missing ever since Jonathan Mingo went down with an injury, and especially now with Braylon Sanders out, they need a few of these guys to step up on the outside.
Little sleight of hand, the handoff to Parrish nets nothing. Good work up front by Tennessee. Byron Young, Jeremy Banks sniffed that one out.
These 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations where Tennessee appears to be playing zone coverage, as you see 2 safeties on the back end. Got to make sure they have a spy or a linebacker that keeps their eyes on Matt Corral. That is when he's hurt this Tennessee defense. Zone coverage using his legs.
Corral with the pump fake to gain a little bit more space, and he goes into the Tennessee sideline after a 9-yard scramble.
And Page chased him all the way to the sideline there. Well, it's a really good effort.
That extra stride gave him 11 yards and an Ole Miss first down. Second career 100 rush yard game. Connor. So an Ole Miss offense that bears repeating, without Jonathan Mingo, who was not available coming into the game, and without Braylon Sanders. Chase Rogers, the tight end, couldn't go tonight. Corral missing a lot of weapons. Nothing doing up front. No gain. Jeremy Banks there. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. And Neyland to its feet collectively. 10th play of the drive.
Let's see what defensive coordinator Tim Banks does. Does he decide to dial up pressure? If he doesn't, you got to leave a linebacker to spy Matt Corral so he doesn't pick up another first down with his legs. One of these 2 guys right here have got to stay on Matt Corral.
One blitzes. Corral goes by him. The other one blocked, and Corral will run for a first down and plenty more. Matt Corral, reputation as a passer, big-time runner.
Boy, it's the right call. You bring a linebacker. Excuse me, you bring one, and 38 here is actually going to come and then stop. He's spying Matt Corral there. But Umana, the center there, comes and blocks him out of the position. They did it. They spied the quarterback, had a guy for him. But Ole Miss with that quarterback draw.
False start. Number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Drummond moved. We were talking to Lane Kiffin about the emotions that he shows on the sideline when he tosses his play sheet or he kicks his play sheet. He said, listen, it's not what everybody thinks. I don't get excited about plays just because they're positive. I get excited about plays that we draw up that we then execute, where I know if we do it right, we're going to have an advantage.
Yeah, what a luxury. I don't get excited about any 75-yard touchdown, only if it's because I drew something up a little special.
Corral gets touched in the backfield, couple of pumps, and he gets folded over. His point was that you can have a big gain on a busted play, or the defense is out of position, or you get lucky. He said, I don't care about that. If we don't block a play right and it still spits positive, I don't take any joy. I take joy out of when we design it and when we execute it.
And that's when it's most rewarding, right? And that's what Lane Kiffin has hung his hat on as an offensive coordinator, as an offensive mind at Alabama, one of the best in-game adjustment play callers. That's where he made his name.
Head coach here in 2009. Ole Miss trying to answer. They turn to Henry Paris Jr. Lane was here, had his third child, named him Knox, while the Kiffin family was making Knoxville home. 3rd and 7. Blitz from the edge. Corral sees it, can't do anything about it. Tennessee gets to him. It's a loss of 2. Aaron Beasley around the corner.
They're going to see Beasley come off the edge here on a blitz. Corral actually wants to run this up to the left, but Beasley forces him. See that? Corral looked to the left, saw him move to the right, but the run is supposed to go back to the left, so he gets further away from the hole, and that play is broken because of the pressure on the outside.
Casas hit from 30. This is a 44-yard attempt. They never had it.
Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile, is brought to you by Farm Ridge. Grab a snack. And new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. And Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Try the best combo ever today.
Really cool the way this place filled up today. 100th season of Shields Watkins Field. The first event was a track meet back in 1921. They got 102-455 in here tonight. First football game, a 27-0 shutout of Emory and Henry, both of them. First sellout here since 2017 against Georgia. The feel of this building, this stadium, after Tennessee opened the second half of that scoring drive, then they get the missed field goal. This is real. This is a home field advantage. It sounds silly, but we didn't have that last year in college football.
No, not at all. And also I think it goes a lot into Josh Heupel and the promise and the hope this fan base has around this program for what they've seen early on in this season. And they're down 5 right now, and buckle up, get your popcorn ready, because I think it's going to be a sprint to the finish.
Here's Hooker trying to get involved in that run game, as Cole mentioned, and he does in a positive way. It's a 14-yard QB run and a first down for UT.
They got to get a drive together, string a few of these together, get this defensive line, this linebacker crew from Ole Miss tired. Something they haven't really been able to do so far tonight.
This defense has played a lot of snaps last couple games. That one sailed on him. 2nd and 10 now for Hooker, trying to find Tillman.
Yeah, same play they ran for the touchdown, going in the same direction in the first half. That time, good coverage by Ole Miss.
Hooker had to regain control, and on 2nd and 10 he runs for 9. Well, there you go. Cole said it was coming. There's the wrinkle and a couple of big QB runs.
And a really good decision, similar to what Matt Corral has done in this first half.
Chance Campbell shaken up.
Someone's covered on the outside, and it wasn't there. Hendon Hooker making a quick, smart decision to tuck it and get as much as possible.
And so Chance Campbell, Maryland transfer, helped off the field. Jake Springer's back on the field for Ole Miss after getting his knee looked at late first half.
Yeah, they've liked to blitz him a little bit from this position.
Tennessee will run it again. That picks up a first down. It's Jabari Small. Jabari's dad Eddie was a wide receiver at Ole Miss in his playing days. Uncle Tony played at Georgia as a wide receiver. Fastball complete to Velus Jones. He's got another Tennessee first down. Train's moving down the tracks now.
Yeah, efficient throws, easy throws for Hendon Hooker. That's kind of what has killed the tempo early in this game, is some of the incompletions. They're rolling now.
Small tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Gets forward for 1. And another Ole Miss player still down, just as Chance Campbell returns to the field. This is K.D. Hill. It's a dangerous conversation to have, to accuse a team of faking injuries to interrupt the play. But Cole, we've talked about this before. It seems like the College Rules Committee could come up with a very simple answer to this, which is if you leave the field due to an injury, you can't return the rest of that possession. Cole apparently left due to injury.
I don't think he agrees with that. I think there's got to be some way to try to de-incentivize this type of play. And I'm not saying this right here,
right?
Because K.D. Hill definitely got banged up on that play. But yeah, I think there's something you can do to make sure that those obvious times when someone or a team is trying to slow down the pace, that there's repercussions. But you see K.D. Hill here. He's got a big boy landing right on him on that left shoulder.
Well, similar to that on the previous play, Tom, Chance Campbell was down before the play ended. He attempted to make the tackle, and he goes down before the play's actually over. So it's just, it's such a difficult thing to gauge. But I do agree with you, Tom, because of the egregious manner that we have seen it in some circumstances. Would not be a bad idea to have some put in place.
Second and 10. Small couldn't get through the hole. Campbell in on that tackle alongside Mark Robinson, who's having a big game tonight for Ole Miss. Third down. Hooker staring down one receiver, and he lobs it down the sideline. They didn't get it. Did not get what he was looking for. He was trying to find Javante Payton, who was blanketed by Jalen Jones, and another Ole Miss player is down before a 4th and 10 play.
Now look at this route down here at the bottom as another Ole Miss player is down. See, I actually don't know if Javante Payton was expecting to get this ball. Look at how he comes off, and as soon as he realizes Hendon Hooker's looking in his direction, he starts to run the route. Little miscommunication on the outside, and that's something Tennessee will do. Because of the tempo at times, certain receivers on one side of the ball won't run a route. And so maybe that time Payton thought he was off on that play.
And they're taking the play off by design.
Yeah, they know it's going in the other direction, trying to get receivers, a little bit of break at times.
I Isaiah Ayton was holding the right knee that is protected by a brace right now. So another Ole Miss defender helped off the field. Sophomore out of Houston, played JUCO ball at Hutchinson Community College. This game started with a whisper, and now we got some shouting here as the offense is trying to find more rhythm. 49-yard attempt from Chase McGrath. He's hit from 39. And he misses that one right. Couple of missed field goals to stymie the scoring, but we've got a 5-point game with 5 minutes to go in the third.
There is college football royalty, and then there are the Mannings. From Oxford to Knoxville to Monday Night Football.
Omaha!
Since the 1960s, the first family of the SEC has created legendary moments in blue and white and orange and white. Tonight, the Mannings are a house divided, and there's nothing more SEC than that.
I thank Ryan McGee for that. Always great to hear from him. And a guy's got Tennessee roots. Peyton into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this summer. On the money with the completion to the edge and a nice little stiff arm for a gain of 9 by Henry Parrish Jr.
That is such an overlooked throw, and that is so difficult to catch and throw it as quickly as Matt Corral just did to a receiver that's running away from you, also slightly behind you, and put it right out in front so he can run and catch.
And now Snoop Connor around the corner and up the sideline, and flags on the edge where Parrish was trying to seal it.
Holding number 0, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
Ja'Cour Pearson there caught on the outside, trying to hold on a little bit too long to give Connor the edge. This is where you got to be careful for Ole Miss taking a shot here. Second and medium.
Missing his 2 top receivers in his starting tight end. Here's Snoop Connor, taken down. Tennessee's defense, another tackle behind the line. It's Caleb Tremblay.
Tremblay, the transfer from USC, does a great job of holding off the left tackle. The right tackle there, extending it, creating separation, and then rallying to the football there.
That's how you set the edge. 3rd and 7. Is it 4-down territory? What do the analytics say about momentum? Because Tennessee's got it. Corral gonna scramble. Got some room, and he's got an Ole Miss first down. Ooh, we got a little extracurriculars between the number 2s, Corral and Alontae Taylor.
Again, nobody's spying Matt Corral. At this point, you have to. Right? You can't afford to give him the opportunity to run with nobody with eyes on him. Great coverage on the back end by Tennessee again. It's been really good coverage for most of the night, but nobody with eyes or responsibility on the quarterback run.
Averaging 6 yards a carry, and that even includes the 5 sacks that Tennessee's gotten him on. Play clock at 3. Gotta hurry. Corral, nobody open. They're all deep. Now he checks down to Ely, and he gets wrapped up by Jeremy Banks. Turns into a gain of 4.
Again, thoroughly impressed with the secondary of Tennessee. Look, I mean, coming into this season, that was their strength. That was where their experience was. A lot of seniors, almost all seniors on the back end there. really tight coverage all night.
Here's Corral straight ahead. Everybody full. Ah, he's got a blocker out there. And Corral gets spun around after getting Nick Broker out of the way. 33-yard run.
And right guard 55 here, Ben Brown, does a good job of just getting a piece of Aaron Beasley as he shot through that gap to allow Matt Corral to hit it on the run.
Cole, what'd you think of Broker's run?
I love it. I've seen him downfield multiple times, be it on screens, or I've seen him take on defenders at the line of scrimmage and have them 13, 15 yards downfield. But he's got a high motor. He's a high-energy guy. And it was just an excellent job because what happened on that play was Caleb Tremblay, 97 for the second consecutive play, actually dropped back. Didn't get as deep in coverage on that play, but had the wherewithal to just go ahead and pass it up, get downfield, and try to help Matt Corral gain some extra yards.
Injured Volunteer is their leading cornerback, Alante Taylor.
Hey, Cole, offensive lineman gets out into space like that at all. Is there a little bit of panic? Kind of, you're in uncharted territory out there.
I wouldn't call it panic, Jordan, as much as I was lack of wherewithal and discomfort because you're not in that situation very often. So it's kind of like, I really want to knock the crap out of this guy, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to touch him. And then they can get away from you really quick. And
suddenly those hammies are tightening up a little bit as you're striding.
Absolutely.
2:53 to go in the third. It's a 5-point game. Big day as always in the SEC. Let's take a look at the road to the championship, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Kentucky 6-0 on the season, going in to Sanford Stadium. They hadn't been off to that great a start since Bear Bryant was their head coach in 1950. Georgia took care of them 30-13. Late score for Kentucky created the final margin. 12th straight win for the Dogs against the Cats. Stetson Bennett 14-20, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Healy in the backfield. Corral keeps it. And Corral in a wrestling match with DJ Terry, sophomore from Meridian, Mississippi.
Corral keeps.
I think if you just check the box score tomorrow, if Ole Miss holds on to this thing and you see Matt Corral 17 of 31, 201, you might go, I don't know if that's Heisman worthy. And then you go to the next line and you see that he's run for 169 plus. What a performance by the Ole Miss quarterback. End zone, caught, touchdown to Ontario Drummond. Second touchdown pass of the night for Corral.
A little play action here, and look at the effect it has on the linebacker. Watch his eyes as he stares at Matt Corral, right? He knows that route's coming, but gets his eyes back on Corral, and that's when you lose as a zone defender underneath. Got to always try to pick up that route and follow it as much as possible, as Matt Corral is going to play with his eyes and not let you know where he's going with the football.
Teams traded whiffs on field goals before Ole Miss was able to extend the lead again. Now third in school history in career passing touchdowns.
But again, that's that play right there. That's why him running the football. That's the effect of him running the football, right? Those linebackers underneath, yes, you would like them to try to match those routes a little bit more. But when the quarterback's been killing you running through the line of scrimmage right at you, you got to keep your eyes on it.
Right. What a development for Matt Corral in his career after playing in Rich Rod's offense year one behind John Rice Plumlee. And then Lane Kiffin shows up in town and says, we're going to do something a little bit different. Tempo might be the same. In fact, it's going to be a little bit quicker, but we want you to put the ball in the air. Bayless Jones back for Tennessee. Jones. Flag on the play. And he takes it out to the 25-yard line.
Junior returns. Flag on play.
By the way, they've already finished in Starkville tonight. Alabama hammered Mississippi State 49-9.
During the return, holding number 15 return team. 10-yard penalty from spot on foul. First down.
Let's take a look at the five-star play of the game, brought to you by Yellowwood. Matt Corral at the center of it.
Yeah, it's been his ability to do it with his arm and his legs, and really it's been his legs that was been the most dangerous part of his game tonight, and really the storyline of his year, that ability to make teams pay, playing soft zone coverage, playing over the top. Well, he's been electric. We've been talking about him all night. I think he's absolutely playing his way not only into the Heisman Trophy conversation, I think he's firmly in that, but into the conversation for being a top 10 draft pick, honestly.
Hooker trying to find some space and doesn't. It's an interesting year in terms of the Heisman race. I mean, given Alabama's loss, Bryce Young kind of came back down to earth. There's good players out of the Big Ten, don't get me wrong, but those teams haven't necessarily racked up the wins they would expect.
Yeah, totally. Michigan State running back would come to mind. Bijan Robinson at Texas, but they just lost today.
Again, yeah. Michigan State is undefeated.
Yeah, Cincinnati quarterback. But yeah, I think Bryce Young is still dangerously quiet in that conversation. But you know Alabama's going to be there at the end of the year, and he's going to continue to put up numbers. But Matt Corral has been special.
Tyler Linderbaum, Iowa Center, deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, totally, Cole. The day they give the Heisman Trophy to a center, I don't know what I'll do. I don't.
I know what Cole will do. He will lead the party. Cole Kublik, front of the parade. 3rd and 7. Beautiful catch. And up in it at the 40-yard line for a Tennessee first down. Corral fouled Cedric Tillman for 26. Pardon me, Hooker.
Well, it's those wide splits. It's a post route on the outside. You start that wide, it gives you that cushion from those safeties in the interior, and Hooker threaded it just in time.
Screen was covered, so Hooker takes off for 4.
Again, this is an 11-point game. We got a whole nother quarter to play.
It's 12.
Yeah, you're right. My math. Yeah. You know what, Tom? It's not like I went to Vanderbilt or something. Math was not my forte, obviously. Anyways, it's a 12-point game, Tommy. We got a quarter left to play. I mean, this thing is far from being over.
A good partner would have let that slide. A great partner brings you back to earth.
We're going to go to break in 18 seconds. Actually, I mean 5, 4, 3.
Should have packed your abacus.
Down, guys.
All right, thanks. Hey, another score of note tonight. Hugh Freeze's Liberty squad came into a game at home against Monroe. 32.5-point favorites. They lost to Terry Bowden squad 31-28. Liberty will be in Oxford in a few weeks. That'll be a fun one. Pressure from the edge, and Hooker runs right past it. Hendon Hooker high steps his way to a first down on a 19-yard QB run.
Well, Jake Springer coming off the edge right here. He is actually not the read guy, but he's adding late. Hooker does a great job of identifying that. They normally read the end man on the line of scrimmage. When that blitzer comes, you got to read it on the fly. Great job by Hooker.
Hooker. Flag. This will be holding. Hooker scrambling, trying to make something out of nothing. It would be irrelevant in the end. Scrambles inside the 20. And tripped up by Springer after a gain of 21. All for naught.
Personal foul. Hands to the face, number 7 defense.
Oh.
Psych.
Yeah. It's Sam Williams Sr.
Williams there in the center. Yeah, right there. Hands all up in the face. Darnell Wright.
We went over all of his favorite rush moves. That one did not make the list.
No.
Ole Miss has given up 75 yards in penalties tonight. Told you, for whatever reason, either the tempo or otherwise, Tennessee draws more penalties than most. Fourth most in the country. First and goal now for UT. Hooker looking to throw. End zone shot. Broken up. DeAndre Prince working on Javonte Payton.
Great job in coverage. A dig route to the goalpost. That ball, as a quarterback, you're taught to throw that at the crossbar. So that ball needs to be about 3 feet higher for Javonte Payton, a little bit behind him, so Prince was able to break that up. But the target for a quarterback is to throw that high and let your guy go get it.
Now second and goal. Quarterback draw. Hooker chipped up inside the 5. Mark Robinson again. Injured player for the Rebels. It's Isaiah Eiten again. Second time he'll have to be helped off the field. Second time he's reached for that right knee. It comes before a third and goal for Tennessee. Prior to that, the play by Robinson is 11th tackle of the game. He's had 4 tackles behind the line of scrimmage, 2 of those sacks. We'll take a timeout on the field to due to the injury and tend to Isaiah Eiten back in a minute. Now Isaiah Eiten off to the locker room after he was finally helped to the field. The south end zone of Neyland Stadium. Ole Miss defense has had guys on the field a lot. Last week against Arkansas, Reese, Finley, Campbell, Williams, and Leonard all played more than 70 snaps. How does that affect them a week later?
I think you have to be concerned about just how gassed this defense is, especially at this point in the game. You go back the week before, obviously having to play a lot of snaps against Alabama, not as many as last week, but those things begin to compound themselves. And as we know, we've had a lot of offense in this game, both sides. Have to wonder where that defense is right now.
Allowed 51 points to Arkansas and 676 yards. Hooker, option look, will take it himself. Touchdown, Tennessee from 5 yards out.
Josh Heupel got exactly the look he wanted. Only one defender backside. Just your speed option. Quarterback's going to read that in. He goes with the running back and a walk-in for Hendon Hooker.
A 9-play, 88-yard drive. Extra point sneaks in. Tennessee doing this tonight without 2 of their key pieces on the offensive line. They're the focus of our Hometown Connection, brought to you by T-Mobile. Each week we highlight a player's connection to towns across the SEC, and we keep it right here in Knox Vegas. Cade and Cooper Mays, brothers playing together over the years. Knoxville Catholic, and then Cade went on to the University of Georgia. Dad Kevin also played here. Cole, you often talk about the brotherhood of an offensive line that's literal in this sense.
Absolutely. Those 2 grew up playing football together and spent even more time together this off season. They had about a month off of school in March and decided to fly out to Dallas and spend the entire month working out with offensive line guru Duke Manyweather. You see right there, that's Cade and Cooper along with Wanye Morris, who is now at Oklahoma. Did it on their own, dime. Duke's a guy that trains offensive linemen preparing for the NFL draft. He trained Trey Smith, former Tennessee lineman, getting ready to go into the draft last season. Trains college and high school offensive linemen, but he is the absolute best in the business. One of the reasons Cade Mays was able to change his body and have the kind of success that he's been having to tackle this season.
Like 102,000 family members here now. Short kick taken with a fair catch. We've got a 5-point game early in the 4th quarter. Both of these offenses came in as some of the best in all of college football. Top 10 in the FBS, both of them points per game, the quickness and seconds per play. Great rushing offenses. So far tonight, it hasn't been quite the same, especially for Tennessee. Volunteers have run for just 152. The tempo is the same, but that's led to quick 3 and outs in some cases.
Yeah, and right now Tennessee's got to find a way to get pressure on quarterback Matt Corral by condensing the pocket, not allowing him to find those rush lanes.
Corral hands it off, and Henry Parrish Jr. picks up 5. Parrish had a great start against Arkansas last week. Went for a career-high 111 yards.
Yeah, he's been a huge surprise, a former 4-star, number 10 overall running back in the country. A true freshman last year, was kind of the third wheel to Connor and Ely this year, getting a lot of opportunities.
He gets just one that time. Amari Thomas with another stop up front for Tennessee. He's seeing more time with Elijah Simmons out. This place is wild. 3rd and 4. Listen to Nealon.
Play of the game right here.
They broke out the 3rd down for what? Corral, design, run, 1st down, and a hit and a lick. And Matt Corral moves the chain with a 12-yard run.
Boy, at just 200 pounds, he is willing to put his shoulder down. Look at that, it's Trevon Flowers, who's a heck of a player as well, and Corral is just so tough.
Corral looks left, looks right, will run right. We asked him about running and taking hits when we talked to him the other day, and he said, listen, I know I should slide a little bit more than I do, but if it's a big 3rd down play, I know where the stick is. I'm going to go get that yardage.
Yeah, and I really didn't believe him when he said he knows he should slide more.
No.
He's a competitor. Yeah, he gets told that from Lane and Jeff Lebby, but he wants to put his shoulder down. He wants to make somebody pay.
Corral hands it off. When Matt Corral was playing youth football down in Southern California, he played some safety, and he was so proud of it that when he got to Ole Miss, he sent that tape to DJ Durkin. 2 different volunteers were down. One got up, and another remains down. And this is Amari Thomas seemingly dealing with cramps. Another big 3rd down coming for Ole Miss. Likely 4-down territory for Lane Kiffin, according to the book. Let's take a look at our 15 minutes or less. Brought to you by Geico.
That's been all Matt Corral. 217 yards through the air, but even more impressive, 26 rushes for 185 yards. He's done everything, and again, adding to his already prolific Heisman campaign here.
Well, the versatility for Corral tonight, 217 through the air, a career high 185 on the ground. He's looked more like John Rice Plumlee as a running quarterback for Ole Miss, and he is chasing history. The Rebels, even with the Mannings, Archie and Eli have never won a Heisman Trophy. They've come close. Eli finished 3rd in 03, Archie 3rd in 1970, and Jake Gibbs back in 1960. The highest finishes for any Rebel in the Heisman voting. 3rd down, coming out of the injury timeout. Fake the toss, Corral looking, can't afford to take a sack, fires, intercepted! Trevon Flowers with the takeaway for Tennessee, first pick of the year for Corral. Roman Harrison brought the pressure.
Yeah, Roman Harrison Jefferson really makes this play. You're going to see him redirect and force Corral further outside the pocket. And this is, don't make a bad play worse, right? Yep. Nothing's there. This is what he hasn't done. This is what he did last year. Force the ball when he don't need to. He forced it there, tip ball. Tennessee takes advantage.
Jeremy Banks got his fingertip on it, especially when you consider Lane Kiffin's use of analytics. They had another down that they were going to use with the ball at midfield if they could have picked up 2, 3, or even nothing. They may have stayed out there.
Totally. It's just situational awareness, and it's something that Matt Corral has done so well this season. But you get into a hostile environment here in the fourth quarter, sometimes your focus starts to be sacrificed a little bit, and you saw that there.
Ole Miss, the last team in college football not to have thrown an interception. Baylor threw one today. And now the Rebels do, and the phone's ringing in our television truck. Folks upstairs going to take an extra look at this one and make sure they got it. Did Flowers make this catch and secure it before he went to the ground?
Obviously called an interception, so going to need to see something very obvious. You know, the ball can hit the ground.
Yep.
Right, as long as you have control of it. See if we can see anything here. I'd be most interested, yeah, as he comes up that first time after the reaction with the impact to the ground, if that ball moves a little bit, but I just don't see anything here.
Now I got his left forearm underneath the whole time.
Yeah.
Tennessee's been a takeaway team, especially over the last 4 games or so.
And again, as we're looking at it and slowing it down and trying to see is that ball moving at all, you know what? You got to try it too hard, then it's not obvious enough. So I think this stands.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
5-point deficit early fourth quarter. Tennessee's offense has found its stride going back to the last drive of the first half and the opening drive of the second half. Jabari Small, and he gets suplexed down by Sam Williams Sr. Second and 8. Hooker looking for a comeback route, was covered. And he scrambles for 3.
Again, it's amazing and fascinating, this offense, right? Hooker looking to the left there for a one concept route. Down at the bottom of your screen, they weren't running routes. Cedric Tillman wasn't running a route. I mean, that was a this guy's open or try to make something happen with your legs kind of play.
Here's a draw. First down run for Hooker. And we've seen this by design from Josh Heupel since he's been in charge of offenses. At Missouri, it was evident with their great wide receivers when he was Barry Odom's OC. Working with Drew Lock at quarterback.
And that's part of the tempo thing, right? It's not, you're not going to have a perfect play every time, but you're going to run so many plays that you can afford a couple times just that. Okay, that one didn't work. Let's run another play.
Another injured player. This is Javontes Spraggins. Tennessee starting right guard. They're already without their right tackle, Cade Mays, and their center, Cooper Mays. Watch big 76 trying to get off the field. They say, if you're hurt, just go down. Just go down. And we get plenty of time to get a sub in for you.
He sold it, though. You grabbed the knee there as he went down, you know. We'll get him some of that magic spray that they have in the soccer games, you know, that's and he'll be up and running around and ready, you know. I need some of that after I go to the gym. Lower back starts to hurt a little bit. Just spray it. I don't even know what that does.
It looks good. There's Williams again. Another big stop. Spraggins back in the game.
We talked about the injury thing earlier, and how do you prevent some of that? What if we just made every player get on a stretcher like they do sometimes in soccer? And they have to get stretchered off the field if it's a cramp or if it's something serious. Just kind of the embarrassment. Yeah, my ideas aren't very good.
Yeah, I don't know that would stop. Hooker looking for a slant, goes back to the outside, and it's Cedric Tillman. This will leave 3rd and 1. Straight ahead. Oh, this is going to be an interesting spot. Needed one. I don't think they got any. This side says it's closer than the other side.
Yeah.
Line judge says first down.
Yeah, the spot down here at the bottom much friendlier than the spot at the top. And that was just a product of the tempo. Tennessee went fast to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ole Miss was scrambling to get a line and still barely got enough for the first down there.
Marcus Pierce getting a touch.
Cedric Tillman's been the go-to guy down here at the bottom of your screen in one-on-one coverage.
Here's Pierce again. Fresh legs. Stood up after a 4.5-yard gain. Chance Campbell in on the stop and a flag down. We haven't seen Tyon Evans tonight for Tennessee.
Number 88, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's Princeton Fant, the tight end, whistled flag for the hold, I should say.
Well, it's tough. He just tossed him. Had hold of him, literally threw him out of the club.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. The left hand across the nameplate around the back, the difference maker.
Yeah, it's that bouncer move for sure.
Right. Life's tough on the strip. Leaves a 1st and 19, and Tennessee in danger of the momentum evaporating. Here's Small. Pick up a 3. Tennessee coach's booth next to us, pounding on the tabletop, not happy with execution of that play. Dean Leonard. I tell you what, the shame of injuries in this setting in front of a crowd like this is it turns into, in some cases, the boy who cried wolf, because there are going to be injured players in games like this that the crowd will not believe that they're injured. We saw it with Penn State and Iowa last week.
And we threw up the graphic about how many plays these guys have played in consecutive games. You're going to see 24 down here at the bottom. He's going to catch a cramp. And I mean, there are so many players that are going down with cramps. We saw, I think it was Eton go to the locker room. I'm sure he went to the locker room to get an IV, honestly. These players are out here for so many plays in these tempo offenses. I mean, how many plays are they? I mean, just our play count's got to be crazy right now.
Ole Miss has run 88, Tennessee 64, two of the fastest teams in the FBS in time of possession per play.
A little cooler as well, and coaches are always reminding players, just because it's cooler doesn't mean you hydrate less.
Yeah.
Right? That's your reaction. It's not as hot. You don't need to drink as much. So oftentimes, those first cool games of the year, players are the most dehydrated, surprisingly.
They put Miles Battle in at that cornerback position.
Boy, I'd attack it, huh? One-on-one coverage again.
Small taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Mark Robinson out of Leesburg, Georgia. Former college running back at two different stops. First with the Blue Hose of Presbyterian, and then Southeast Missouri State. Guy averaged 5 yards a carry at SEMO. He's got 12 tackles tonight. There's another injury for the Ole Miss Rebels. 8:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss by 5.
Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And in part by new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Try the best combo ever today.
Stadium. They change the pictures on that scoreboard sometimes. On the backside overlooking South Knoxville, underrated. Third down and 17 to go for Tennessee. Volunteers have the only touchdown in this game in this quarter. Trying to mount a comeback. Clock was running, the game clock running. Coming out of the timeout. Spotted it, started it. 3rd and 17 now. Hooker. Incomplete. It wasn't a timeout, by the way. It was an injury timeout, so the clock operated properly. Miles battled the coverage on the near side. In for Dean Leonard. You were saying it. Go right to him.
Yeah, and that's a tough deal for Tennessee. They tried to run the football early downs in that drive, and Ole Miss with just 5 in the box, 6 even at times, was still able to be stout against the run, playing zone coverage behind it. So not much there on a 3rd down.
Paxton Brooks. And Tennessee will try to put it in the hands of their defense to get the ball back into that 36-yarder. Busy day for the guys back in the studio to cover. Dari, Chiz, Doring, and Benjamin Watson. Biggest stories today, break down all the games. It is not going to go off on time. We're already 45 minutes past the suggested start time. Late night here in Knoxville. Early morning for Jordan in Athens today. Thanks to Wheels Up, we're helping make travel easier, getting Jordan from SEC Nation in Athens this morning into Knoxville today. Highly anticipated matchup, expected more points, but just as competitive as we thought. Matt Corral to throw on 1st down. And it was fought and caught for a gain of 1 by Henry Parrish. You mentioned this before, but what makes that throw so tough from an angle perspective?
Well, it's just you're trying to lead a receiver that is even with you and usually moving away from you. Very difficult throw to judge as a quarterback. It looks like it should be easy. It's not.
Parrish, 1st down Ole Miss. 10-yard run before Banks could get to him.
It is a little chippy down there. Both teams cannot afford a penalty as well, so keep an eye on that as this physical game continues.
Little toss to Pearson. He almost looked surprised, and he cuts it back in just for 1. They go trip to the right. John Rice Plumlee in the middle of the formation for Ole Miss. And now here's Pearson. Corral will try to run it. Got some blocking out there, and he dives forward.
Same play. Right, this is that quarterback draw. They must be averaging 10, 15 yards almost every time they run this. Tennessee playing coverage, zone coverage. Matt Corral looks out wide, gets a linebacker to move, has a center as a lead blocker, and Tennessee hasn't had an answer for it.
Corral trying to make some history tonight. He is 1 yard away from joining Johnny Manziel in exclusive company. That season ended pretty well for Johnny, didn't it?
I'd say so. A little bit of hardware.
Another injured player as we anticipate a 2nd and 8 from Ole Miss after a 2-yard run from Corral, and they will tend to Jaquan Blakely. Back in a moment.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Run it.
They're getting loose here in Knoxville. You know, you think about the college football playoff and what's possible for Ole Miss with a win tonight. When you look at their future schedule, there's a lot of winnable games ahead for Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I told you to stop giving people dance lessons before the game starts, Tom. Nobody needs to see that.
Second and 8. Corral with a left hand gets rid of it, with Latrell Bumpus taking him down. Wow, a magician to avoid the sack.
Great way to avoid the sack, but look at Bumpus just continuing to work, getting off the block there, maybe even a little bit of hold. He's getting held there. But again, as I said, Matt Corral's done such a good job of attacking the field vertical, so Bumpus does a great job of working laterally to close that hole.
Again, out of the backfield, Snoop Connor stays on his feet in Ole Miss first down.
Good blocking on the outside by John Rice Plumlee and Dennis Jackson there.
Connor and Parrish have been real weapons for Corral out of the backfield with so many receivers injured. Corral backpedaling now, tipped. He's already thrown one pick trying to make something happen. Solon Page got his hands on that one. The leading receiver tonight for Ole Miss by catches is Henry Parrish Jr. He's got 5 grabs. Connor's got 3 out of the backfield.
That's what you do when you're down Braylon Sanders. You're down your starting tight end, Chase Rogers, as well. You got to find ways to get your best athletes the ball, and really the running back group, all 3, Ely, Connor, and Parrish, they're the best guys on the team with the ball in their hands.
It's a 5-point lead for Ole Miss with 5 minutes to go in this one, and if they're able to hold on to this one, it's going to be really interesting looking at what's available for Ole Miss going forward. You start talking about multiple teams from leagues getting into the playoff. There's a lot of winnable games left for Ole Miss, and with Georgia winning today, it looks like the East is taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the games aren't necessarily easy. You got LSU, you're at Auburn, Liberty's a sneaky game with Hugh Freeze, A&M, but those are all games you go, well, Ole Miss can win all those as well. Yeah, they could lose a few of them, but the way this offense is playing, the way Matt Corral's protecting the football, they're dangerous.
Cole, how do you view what Ole Miss has left and the opportunity that's in front of Lane Kiffin right now?
I think every game left on the schedule is winnable. I think I agree with Jordan that a couple are losable. Think about how different a couple of those are today than even they were yesterday. The Auburn offense continues to look like they're kind of finding their way. Defense playing good ball. LSU just had a running back set a school record for most rushing yards in a single game. So they look a little bit different than maybe we thought they did earlier this morning.
Everything changes. This is the ultimate small sample size sport. And every week, especially this season, brings different outcomes. Blitz from the edge. Corral stands tall. Now trying to escape, and he gets dragged down from behind. And that will leave 3rd and 9, and Corral is not getting up easily. Byron Young dragged him down. Corral's hurt. That was a very awkward way he went down with a lot of pressure on that leg, trying to escape it.
That's never good when you get tackled from behind like that. Sometimes the leg the ankle, the foot gets pinned down there. It's good to see him standing, but he's definitely really not putting a ton of weight on his left leg. You see Rush come off the edge, and Luke also just banged that knee into the ground as well.
Luke Altmaier is the backup quarterback, but of course you also have John Rice Plumlee, who got a bunch of QB reps in the Austin Peay game earlier this season. Kiffin was asked about playing Plumlee at quarterback in that game when he hadn't practiced at it all week. He said, well, I wanted the fans to stick around a little bit. They love John Rice. We knew they'd stay in. Altmaier, freshman out of Starkville High School, hadn't played in 4 games, hasn't completed a pass yet this season. Kiffin bragged on him pretty good when we asked about him.
Yeah, and don't worry, it's just third down, the biggest third down of the game, in front of 102,000 here at Neyland Stadium.
They have to take a timeout, and they'll do it to buy Corral back into the game. That's the value of Matt Corral in a 1-possession game. Matt Corral getting worked on the sideline. Misinterpretation of the rule from the booth and from the sideline. Lane Kiffin thought he could buy Matt Corral back into the game by using a timeout. An injured player needs to be out for a play. They can't buy him back in. And Corral not happy with it. You see his right knee bloody. He'll come in the next play, but now it's Luke Altmaier, true freshman, facing a 3rd and 10 on the road in front of 102,000.
Ja'Cour Pearson down here at the bottom of your screen with a lot of green grass in front of him. Be a quick, easy throw.
Pearson clears. Pressure coming. Batted ball. That is behind the line and is knocked out of bounds after Byron Young got his hands on it. And now they say incomplete, not backwards. You know, if you get 3 yards, then maybe Matt Corral comes back out to run a play on 4th down.
Yeah, get 3 or 4 yards, then you're talking about 4th and 5 or 6. That's something that Lane Kiffin doesn't even blink at most of the time. But 4th and 10 here, this is the right decision. Punt it away. Your defense has played really well tonight at times. Try to lean on them one more time.
Tennessee almost got to it. Bayless Jones lets it drop. It'll take a rebel hop inside the 10. 40-yard punt and a beauty. Now it's up to Hendon Hooker.
Slow start to this game, but he's dropped a few dimes. One to Bayless Jones there, nearly a touchdown. Another one to Bayless Jones. Found Cedric Tillman a few times as well, and this is the part of his game that really started to flourish in the second half and helped Tennessee shake off that bad start, using his legs effectively a few times here in the second half.
Out of Greensboro, North Carolina, transferred to Tennessee from Virginia Tech. Worst starting field position of the night for Tennessee. Hooker's got it, and he's got a first down and a few more.
Just a little zone read here. And again, that's been the difference, right? The slow start for Tennessee. The ground game hasn't been great. It's been great all year, but not as much tonight. Hendon Hooker really helping out.
Hooker again. Cole, Josh Heupel told you in the second half they needed to get Hooker involved in the ground game. Looks like they've done a good job of it.
Well, you've seen Ole Miss go single safety a lot here in the second half, and they were doing it late in the first half. So if you're going to add a defender, offense has to add a blocker. Best way to do that, run your quarterback, gives you that extra man.
Pressure. Hooker. They got to him, but they couldn't bring him down. Hooker jukes inside, and he's got another first down carry. Hooker wants to throw this time against the zone. 12-yard completion to Javonte Payton.
You know, before he took over as the starter, Josh Heupel mentioned one thing we didn't know about him, we didn't see in practice, was just how tough he was and how dangerous he could be with his legs. He doesn't get rattled, very even-keeled and very tough as a runner. You're seeing that here in the fourth quarter as Tennessee drives down the field.
Miles Battle is down, and an inordinate number of player injuries tonight, which has led to the length of this game, along with these high-profile offenses, and it has disrupted the rhythm and tempo of two teams that like to go fast. Hooker 16 of 25 tonight, 210 yards and a score. He's also rushed for 98 yards, and he gets a chance with some extra coaching on the sideline.
Tennessee over 400 yards now, and think about it. Right before that last drive of the first half, they only had 70-something yards of offense. Now over 400. Really figured things out here in the second half.
Volunteers averaging 6 yards a play. Battle entered a couple series ago for the injured Dean Leonard. And Ole Miss going a little bit deeper into the roster as he gingerly walks off towards the Rebel sideline. A.J. Finley will see the field now. He hadn't been out there that much tonight, if at all.
With all these quarterback runs and the success on the ground, Cole mentioned Ole Miss getting into one safety looks, rolling a safety down late. That opens things up downfield. Cedric Tillman at the bottom of your screen has been their go-to guy on a few deep plays. Let's see if Ole Miss continues to roll guys down into the box. Starting in a two shell, but rolling down already. Going to get man coverage on two guys down here at the bottom, Cedric Tillman and Velus Jones.
Pressure coming up the middle. Hooker taken down. It's Sam Williams Sr.
Sam Williams, usually the field defensive end, starts outside there, stunts all the way into the A gap and comes through clean.
First sack allowed by Tennessee in the second half. It leaves 2nd and 17. Draw. Williams couldn't get him. We got a flag on the play. 5-yard gain for Hooker. 2:07 to play. Now Hooker reaching for his right hamstring. Chance Campbell is injured. You know, 2012, Nick Saban facing these up-tempo, no-huddle offenses asked in October of that year,
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
is this what we want football to be? Now, part of his argument was more plays, more playing time, more injuries possible. And these are two up-tempo offenses that have seen a lot of plays tonight. Ole Miss has run 98 plays. Tennessee has run 71.
I can answer that. I like points being scored. I mean, this is, yeah, it's a different brand of football. But
well, Saban obviously adopted it when Lane Kiffin came to town. But his point to injuries, I think, was one that did hold weight.
Yeah, and I think it's cause and effect, right? So this is teams starting to realize now how crucial it is to have that much more depth, to rotate guys that much more because of the style of offense that's being adapted across the league and across the country. More plays, more risk for injury. So you got to be able to rotate a lot of guys. Campbell, he's gone down a couple times. I mean, he is a warrior. The transfer from Maryland has been had such a big impact on this defense. It's why they're playing better, but man, he's gotten beat up a little bit tonight.
19 tackles over the last 2 games. Forced fumble against Arkansas in what was a shootout. Stopped the Razorbacks on a 2-point conversion to end the game.
What you got on 2nd and 27 here, Tom?
Try to get it to 3rd and 10.
You got a 17-yard play sitting in there somewhere?
We'll see. You mentioned Tillman. He's been the threat. 3-man rush. Hooker pulled it back. Everybody's covered. And Hendon Hooker shoved out of bounds. No gain.
Yeah, looked in the direction of Cedric Tillman on a post route. Great coverage. Great coverage, zone coverage over the top for Ole Miss. That wasn't there. Could have checked it down to the running back. Tried to buy some time, see if something didn't come open downfield. Now really, 3rd and 27. What do you want to get? It's a 4th and 10 here?
Yeah, sure.
Still have all 3 timeouts, so there is a scenario where you don't pick it up, you punt it, try to rely on your defense. Obviously, you'd like that not to happen, but
Hooker, chased by Sanogo, eludes it, but that'll only delay the inevitable. Pick up of 3. Hendon Hooker's got a gash on the back of his back of his orange pants. About to come out of the trousers.
Boy, and Hendon Hooker limping. You can see his pants torn there. I mean, he has been running all over the field, trying to let something develop downfield. It's just not. I mean, it's just not a play for 2nd 27, 3rd and 27, let alone 4th and 24 here.
And the clock rolling. It'll be under a minute by the time this play ends. Hooker fires over the middle. Caught! First down, Tennessee. 57 seconds. The spot is just short. He's a foot short according to the spot.
Wow.
And they put the ball down short of the line to gain. And if that spot's accurate, it'll be a turnover on downs. They will take time to look at it.
Just the tight end up the seam, Jacob Warren. Let's see if we can get an idea of where the spot is.
He is short by nearly a full yard. They just brought out the sticks.
Yeah, but they're going to need to look at this spot upstairs. On initial contact, it looked like he was going to go down, but right away, I think he stayed up a lot longer.
Just showed it on the Jumbotron and the stretch of the right arm across the 40. The question will be, where was the ball when the knee touched?
Watch initial contact here. If his knee were to go down right away, he would be short, but he actually stays up after this initial contact as he stretches out. Ball's in the left hand. See if we can see where his knee maybe does go down. Oh.
So it's where the ball is when the knee goes down.
Yeah, and his knee goes down maybe at about the 41 or so. Again, you could say, well, it's, you know, if the ball is out ahead a little bit, you could extrapolate that maybe it's closer to that 40, but we got to have something concrete, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to say this is exactly where the ball is. Yeah, and
if the ball's in his right hand, I think it's a first down. The ball is in his left hand.
Boy, it is really, really close. Without an angle from the other side, it's really tough to tell exactly where that ball is. Like the knee goes down there, I think. It's going to be really hard. I mean, I'd say it kind of looks like he got there almost, right?
Yeah, kind of and almost is not irrefutable, right?
A Tennessee fan's going to say absolutely, no doubt. An Ole Miss fan is going to go, no, you can't see the ball. I mean, both have an argument.
54 seconds remaining. If they do give him another yard on his spin, okay, that angle shows me that the ball is almost at his waist as opposed to higher towards the shoulder.
Yeah, not stretching the ball out there. You kind of piece all those angles together. Yeah, I don't think you can do anything with this. I think you have to leave it. This is a great angle because you can tell where the ball is in his left hand. Not reaching it out, right? You mentioned if it was in his right hand, maybe you could see it and say, oh, you reached it out far, but that ball is down around his belly button. Yeah, that's probably actually a good spot. Yeah, I mean, that ball is kind of right in that area, right on his numbers.
Not confirmed. The ruling stands. Tennessee, though, to your point about punting earlier, they've got all 3 timeouts remaining.
And again, not punting was the right move there when you look at it, right? Because you got to hold them to not picking up a first down. If they would have kicked the field goal, okay, it's still a 1-score game, right? So that was the right call. And now, again, not much has changed. You have to stop them on these first 3 plays, call your timeouts, and hopefully get the ball back. With 20-something seconds left, maybe 30 seconds at most.
Fans are littering the field with objects from the stands, primarily in the south end zone, but also towards the Tennessee bench. Never wise. Here's the thing, this game's not over.
No.
Lane Kiffin's got a golf ball in his hand.
We got vape pens, we got water bottles.
Cole, you need a helmet?
I doubt that fan yelled 4. Understand the frustration from Tennessee fans, but that was the right call. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a play to even get close on a 4th and 24, but it was short, about a ½ yard short. So,
all right, when play resumes, what is Ole Miss looking at here?
Well, Ole Miss knows Tennessee's going to stack the box, right? So if I'm thinking that, I'm thinking of a way to get a handoff where I get something on the perimeter, right? Ja'Cour Pearson, possibly, or some kind of quarterback lead or quarterback power where you have a blocker, you do misdirection, you allow Corral to use his feet once again. But again, how healthy is he, right? We haven't seen him run the football since he got banged up and went out earlier.
The officials are holding play until the objects cease coming out of the stands, and a good chunk of the Ole Miss team is on the sideline, nearly on the field.
Lane's going to hold on to that golf ball.
Yeah.
He just showed me the range ball that he got. I mean, I told you guys this. I've seen multiple vape pens come down onto the field. You got water bottles, beer. There's a whole bottle of mustard that's down here on the field.
Was it at least a Pro V1?
No, it was the old yellow, range ball Spalding. Lane told me, he said, this kind of hurt.
Did it hit him?
I asked him and he walked away.
This is getting stupid.
Ole Miss having a
I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm on the Ole Miss sideline. I would not let my team be down here anymore. My team would not be on this sideline if I was down here.
What kind of parameters are in place for just ending the game and taking them off the field? I mean, you got the Tennessee cheerleaders trying to avoid debris being thrown on the field. We have footage of Lane Kiffin being hit by a golf ball that came out of the Tennessee stands while he was talking with the officials. Whoop. Got him on the right elbow.
Boy. I mean, that fan got any eligibility? think there's a scenario where you can just call the game. So the refs have to be able to control the situation. Tennessee fans have got to police themselves. They got to realize that they need play to start for them to even have a chance to win. Still, 3 timeouts. This game is not over. So Tennessee fans need to chill out a little bit on that sideline. Refs need to let everything cool off, but got to find a way to finish the last 54 seconds of this game.
The Tennessee cheerleaders are leaving the field.
They took some hits, I'm not going to lie. I was watching them.
Mark Curls has the headset on. He's talking to the replay booth. Head coaches meeting out on the field. This is ugly. It's ridiculous, and it is unnecessary. This home team has a chance to win the game with 3 timeouts remaining. The game wasn't long enough. Now further delay. If Ole Miss is able to pull this one out, Lane Kiffin will be in good spirits after returning to Knoxville and finding a win. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I mean, this was one of the best scenes I've ever seen at Rocky Top. I mean, it's unbelievable. One of the best scenes in college football, but this is not a good look for Tennessee fans at all.
They were anticipating this game. It was a sellout, over 102,000. You know, we're down on the strip grabbing lunch today. The students, alumni, everybody was fired up for this. And there was this general excitement around this Tennessee program that Josh Heupel has brought to the table. Even though offensively this didn't turn into what we expected it to, there's still a lot to be positive about if you're Tennessee. But one call on a spot, which you mentioned and reiterated was the correct spot, has brought out the worst in some of the fans here. And now the Tennessee dance team is also running off the field. Cole, when are they going to run out of ammunition here?
Doesn't feel like anytime soon because there's still water bottles coming out right now. This thing's coming out to midfield. Look right here.
It's not that it ever was funny, but it's beyond normal, and this is ridiculous.
I think Lane's probably lobbying for, hey, my team's not safe. You need to end this game. We need to go in the locker room. I bet that's what he's saying. And you don't know what can get thrown out of the stands, right? I mean, again, I hope there's a resolution that can mean this game can be finished, because Tennessee still has a chance in this game with all 3 timeouts, but player safety is a priority, and feels like 5-10 minutes later, stuff's still getting thrown out of the stands.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
The Tennessee fan reaction began when Jacob Warren was stopped after replay a yard short of what would have been a 4th down conversion. Gave Ole Miss the ball back. That was the last play that we had run in this game. Tennessee band has left the field. They're out of the stands and leaving.
This is wild to watch. Cheerleaders, dance team, the band is walking down out of the stands onto the field and out the tunnel. And there's still a minute left in this game.
The replay booth informs our truck that they're going to do everything in their power to finish this game.
An Ole Miss player just caught a water bottle thrown out of the stands on their side.
Lane pregame with Cole was all smiles and fun when he was catching grief from the Tennessee student section as he came back here, the place where he was the head coach, and that was all fun and games. A cop just got hit by a water bottle from high up in the lower level.
Well, it seems like an hour ago, this is the last play Hooker hitting Jacob Warren for nearly a conversion on a 4th and 24, and then all chaos ensued as that spot was reviewed. A golf ball thrown out of the stands is going to hit Lane Kiffin here. Looks like on the right elbow. And still water bottles and debris getting thrown down onto the sidelines on both sides, but more so on the side of Ole Miss, as we kind of just sit and wait.
Cole, what do you got?
Tom and a couple police officers here down at least by the wall, just hoping to at least calm some things down and keep extra debris from coming to the field.
I tell you what, you see one kid, and not that it's only students, but that would be an assumption. You see one kid throw a water bottle and you jump up and you put him in cuffs. I'm guessing that would curb the action real quick.
And there's some cops walking up into the stands right now. Yep. Yeah, they're grabbing a few kids right now.
Article 3 of the college football rule book, the referee may suspend the game temporarily when conditions warrant such action. If the game is suspended before the end of the 4th period and cannot be resumed, 4 options: resume the game at a later date, terminate the game with a determined final score, forfeit the game, or declare a no contest.
I think they're trying to vacate the student section right now. Here's a good question. Who brings a golf ball to the football game? Like, what are you doing with a golf ball in your pocket?
Just finished 18th at Holston Hills.
Using a range ball?
Yeah. And there will no doubt be injuries both in the stands and maybe even on the field from people who've been struck by debris.
There are hundreds and hundreds of water bottles and debris all over the field. I mean, it is really a crazy scene when you look down there.
Who brings a bottle of mustard?
That's hey, you know, sometimes those pumps at the hot dog concession area, they're out, you know? I feel you. The yellow mustard.
Travel with your own Frisbee at Pizza Box. John McDade, supervisor of officials in the SEC, tells our truck that this officiating crew is waiting for game management to take control of this situation so we can finish the last 54 seconds. By the way, Article 3, that is point number 2, refer the problem to those responsible for the game's management. PA announcer, how long have we been in this? 15 minutes? Kentucky and A&M both fined 6 figures for fans storming the field after big wins. This should qualify.
This should be a
same. It's been 17 minutes.
I mean, you're gonna fine $250 for rushing the field after a win and celebrating. What about trying to harm the other team? I wouldn't be surprised if there's some action taken by Greg Sankey in the conference here, just to deter any type of behavior like this ever happening again.
The point to Tennessee still having timeout should be taken into consideration here, not just because they could still come back and win this game, but if Tennessee's out of timeouts, Mark Krols and his crew could have just washed their hands of this, sent everybody home, and say that's the ball game.
Yeah, totally.
We'll try to make sense of it. It's been nearly 20 minutes now since play was interrupted by debris coming from the stands. Welcome back. Looks like play will resume here at Neyland Stadium, even though there's still a few people on the field. To be clear, Mark Curls and this officiating crew does not have the authority to suspend play. It would have to come from a meeting between the two athletic directors, and that would involve Commissioner Greg Sankey. The debris has been cleared. For the most part, everything has calmed down, and Tennessee's got 3 timeouts, and we will resume play after a lengthy delay. "20 minutes in between plays after the review." Ole Miss needs a first down to win this thing. Lane Kiffin on the far sideline. Here's Matt Corral finally back to action, and Tennessee is there. They'll use a quick timeout. 51 seconds remaining. Jeremy Banks with the play in the backfield on Snoop Connor.
He's been all over the place. Shot the gap there extremely quick. Look, Tennessee was selling out for the run here. Man coverage on the outside. Everybody else in the box. Just a great job of reading and reacting there to bring down Snoop Connor. Tell you what, with the confidence Lane Kiffin has in his quarterback, I wouldn't be surprised.
Take a shot. Put it in the air.
Maybe just a little play action slant route or something. You know you have man coverage on the outside. I'm not saying take a deep shot, but a high percentage throw off a little play action.
And a QB run tagged on that. Corral's been so good at it tonight.
It wouldn't shock me.
That Corral has run for 200 yards. He's thrown for 231. They're throwing stuff again. All the fans coming down to the first row in the student section. Play gets off. Corral hands it off, and Connor stopped at the line of scrimmage. Clock will stop with another Tennessee timeout. 47 seconds to go. There's still trash being thrown on the field, and especially towards the Ole Miss sideline.
And a wild scene as everybody in the stands start crowding back down towards the front rows after they were pushed back about 20 or 30 rows. And again, this is why we're saying how crazy the delay was. That's one play away from Tennessee getting the ball back.
Yeah. "47 seconds left.
Now you're in the dilemma. If you're Ole Miss, do you run the football to force Tennessee to use that timeout, knowing you probably aren't going to pick up the first, or do you roll the dice with your Heisman candidate quarterback, one of the best players in the country, and trust him to make a play to end the game? What do you do?
Corral has been a true dual threat quarterback tonight. 3rd and 12 now.
I'm Kiffin. I roll the dice. I throw it.
Corral has it, lost his footing, and goes down. 43 seconds remaining. It's a loss of 5.
Jet sweep misdirection, trying to use Matt Corral's legs because he's been money all night. But Byron Young, great job on the backside, reading that, staying home, staying disciplined.
20 minutes, not running, not active. Cold. It seems like it's gotten colder here tonight.
I feel like the weather's dipped a little bit more. These students have come back down to the front row into this game. Just an amazing atmosphere, one I don't think I've ever experienced anything like, to be honest with you, Tom.
Mac Brown to punt it away on a 4th and 17. Lane Kiffin's return to Knoxville. It has been chaotic for sure. Bayless Jones, a return man. He muffed a punt in the first quarter. Still looking for redemption. Brown got it away, and it's a beauty. Jones pushed all the way back to the 13. Bayless Jones has the sideline. 30 seconds left. He's to midfield. And Tennessee will have a short field on a sensational return by Velus Jones that covers 40 yards. No timeouts for Tennessee. The band is gone. They have to pipe in a Rocky Top recording.
You have your transfer quarterback from Virginia Tech, started the season as the backup, earned his respect, earned his time, and now with the chance in one of the wildest games we've seen in a long time to put Rocky Top over the top here at the end.
Hooker, no timeouts left, can't take a sack. He'll scramble, first down run, clock will stop for a moment.
Now you got to get on the ball and you got to clock it.
Hooker's hurt. 14-yard scramble. Hooker is going to go down with 19 seconds left.
Yeah, that'll mean this will be a 10-second runoff after this.
Joe Milton III, the Michigan transfer, will enter after the 10-second runoff due to no timeouts remaining. He has got an easy arm.
Oh, he's got plenty of arm, right? I mean, they're at the 33-yard line with a 10-second runoff.
Pardon me, no runoff because the clock was stopped on Hooker's run, so it wasn't a running clock at the end of the play. So Milton's going to have 18 seconds to play with. And this doesn't look like the type of injury that's going to get Hooker right back out there after one play.
No. Boy, Hooker and Corral have done such a great job tonight of tucking the ball and making plays with their legs when coverage is over the top. That puts Hendon Hooker over the 100-yard mark tonight.
Hooker's gone for 108. Corral's run for 195.
Now the clock should start on the whistle, though. Yeah, so
yes.
It's not the 10-second runoff, but it was just a paused clock because of the first down pickup. So on the whistle, it'll start.
18 seconds left.
I would spike it. I would. I mean, you have a lot of time to think about it right now. So if you feel like you have the play you want and Milton's ready, but I might just spike it. I mean, you get 17 seconds, then you can see what Ole Miss came out with on defense. You can think about this play again because this is a huge play call. You don't need that extra down.
Joe Milton threw for 139 in his Tennessee debut against Bowling Green. He came here after transferring from Michigan. Got here in June and will have 3 seasons of eligibility remaining.
Why, another reason why I would clock it is because I want my team to get lined up with Milton, and I want to see what the defense is in. I want him to look to the sideline and have a chance to change the play.
Okay.
You can't do that if the clock's running. If the clock's running, right? So give yourself that opportunity. I would just spike it, eat the 1 second, call the play you want, come out in it with time to look to the sideline, see what the defense is doing, and possibly adjust if you need to.
When Joe Milton was going to high school in Pahokee, Florida, he got a phone call after every one of his high school games from the UCF then head coach Josh Heupel, and he said, "I see what you're doing. You think you could do that in my offense?" He's a really good fit for this offense, and he got off a good start to this season, but his inconsistency led to him losing the job.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the inconsistency with some of the inaccuracies downfield, right? And right now, 33-yard line, they're going to need to take a couple shots. They do have time to take a shot over the middle, get back on the line of scrimmage. I mean, a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, and you're asking a guy in Milton, even though he played at Michigan, you're asking a guy who hasn't been playing tonight and probably hadn't been running with the ones in practice, then to execute that with the clock ticking.
Coming off the bench, cold. It's chilly down there. He's trying to get warmed up. You got Velus Jones there down as well, getting some work before this play.
Well, you can say this when Lane Kiffin's around, it's never boring, huh?
Whew.
Hope Hendon Hooker is okay. He is helped off the field, and they're without key receiver and Velus Jones for at least this play. SEC Saturday night has turned into SEC Sunday morning. Out of the shotgun.
And I think they're going to run a play, right? You wouldn't spike it out of shotgun, so they're going to run a play here.
Milton checks over his shoulder, takes the snap. Got a big, strong arm. Fires. That's good for a first down. Clock at 13-12. Walker Merrill with the first catch of the night.
Yeah, got to clock it here.
They'll go under center and do just that. And from the 21-yard line, Tennessee will have a couple of shots with 11 seconds remaining.
Perfectly executed, right? You run 4 verts. The inside guys convert to stop routes to find that soft area in the zone. You pick up just enough for the first down. Great job by Milton under a little bit of pressure here. I mean, the arm strength taking a hit. Accurate throw there. You have 2 shots into the end zone. Maybe not. I think you only have time for 2 shots here into the end zone. And if I'm Josh Heupel, I'm designing something to get number 4 of the football, Cedric Tillman. 6'3", 215. He's your 50-50 guy on the outside. He's down here in the bunch.
Milton steps up. Now rolling. Fires end zone. Through the hands of his intended receiver. That was Tillman. 3 seconds left. Lane Kiffin praying for the clock to run out.
Boy, how many plays if these guys ran? It almost looks like Tillman doesn't have the juice to get up just off his hand. That's so hard. He's run so many routes tonight. So many plays from Tennessee and Ole Miss.
78 plays for Tennessee. Ole Miss has run 101. This will be the last of the night, one way or another. Timeout taken. Lane Kiffin wants to get it set up. Woo! Cole, what are you seeing from Joe Milton down there?
Obviously, that arm strength that we know he has, no issue getting the football to the end zone. But to be able to come off the bench, have that pocket awareness, be able to move, and throw that kind of ball with that kind of accuracy, still impressive. I know, like Jordan said, Tillman not able to get up and be able to get to it, but you've been sitting on the bench for, I mean, how long have we been out here? 7 hours? 6.5 hours? Come up, move around the pocket, throw that ball, pretty impressive.
Came down to the wire last week, down to the final play. Ole Miss survived at home against Arkansas. Lane going through a range of emotions on the Ole Miss sideline.
I think you want to do something similar here. You see the tight splits at the bottom. I think you want to buy some time, escape Milton to the right, and see if somebody can't get open.
2-man rush. Milton running into traffic. Now out of it. Clock at zeros. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets shoved out of bounds, and time will run out on Tennessee.
Oh, and that's what they tried to do there at the end. Milton did his best there. Tried to escape to the right, wasn't able to. Lane Kiffin, there's some relief, huh, to have this game over. The 20-minute break, debris getting thrown from the stands.
First win in Neyland for Ole Miss since 1983 in a game that had absolutely everything. Didn't have the offensive output many expected, but it came down to the final play, and Joe Milton, who hadn't played in a couple weeks, didn't throw it, tried to run with it.
Coach, just all of it. What are you feeling right now?
Relief. I don't know if I'm more excited that we found a way to win or I didn't get hit with the golf balls they were throwing at me, but no, really. Our defense rose to the occasion. We did horrible on offense there, about not finish off, so great job. The quarterback battled with a ton of injuries around him. We had basically 4 starters didn't play on offense, so an electric crowd, credit to them. You know, this is a great place and great fans.
I know a lot of it was by design. You talked to us about Matt Corral potentially putting that seatbelt on. Maybe we need to move up to airbag, try to get him to start sliding a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we had to do what we had to do. Once Braylon went down, that's really 2 of his top 4 receivers out. The tight end was out, left guard was out. So what you said today when we walked in and all the fans were yelling, you said, how do you feel? I said, we got number 2, so we'll be all right.
All right, so your team comes in, all the adversity, everything with the fans. Obviously, Tennessee makes a great comeback in the second half. What did you learn about your football team tonight?
Well, you know, I'm actually glad that if we were to win a game, we won it on defense like that instead of just another great offensive performance. So for our defense to rise to the occasion really twice, because they had to stop them twice there, was awesome.
Can you just take me through any conversations you were having towards the end of the game about how it was going to finish, if it was finished, anything of that nature?
Well, I mean, they were just throwing stuff, and I just said, put your helmets on, let's play. And it's actually their people came over that moved us off, and some people knew before that was worried about us. So, you know, it is what it is. They're passionate fans, and they're 100,000 people that came to see the show. You know, it didn't end up the way they wanted, so it is what it is.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, see you guys.
Lane Beck is a head coach for the first time since 2009, and boy, oh boy, had a little bit of everything. This is the final play of the game with Joe Milton trying to make something happen after he ran into trouble.
Yeah, great job by Sam Williams. They did want to roll out to the right, and this is just situational awareness, right? You saw Joe Milton look up at the clock thinking he maybe had a second or two to step out of bounds. He didn't. That was the last play of the game. He's got to try to get in the end zone there. He doesn't. Great job by Ole Miss's defense. Great coaching job by Lane Kiffin through the adversity at the end there.
And remember the throw on the previous play from Hendon Hooker right through the hands of Cedric Tillman would have been, by Milton. That would have been a walk-off winner. And nice catch by Lane. It continues. I don't know if the hoodie's going to protect him. That was the look early. It was a fun night, and it ends up being chaotic. Lane at least nice enough to return the favor and send his visor into the stands. This is how close it was. Milton to Tillman, and right through his hands. Everything tonight. I hope the studio is a little bit more calm than it is here in the building. Dari, all you.
Yeah, Tom, we weren't sure when we were going to get it, but my goodness, that was entertaining as we welcome you in here.